The following programs were originally aired live, long before the advent of high fidelity, and they were recorded using a variety of means, from direct recording onto early audio tape and glass records, to simply placing the microphone of a wire recorder in front of the speakers of a radio playing the program. I hope, however, that any variance in audio quality will not take away from your pleasure in listening to these, some of the all-time favorite shows.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Next guest will give you the laughs, just don't ask him to lend you money. It's Jack Benny coming up next.
The Jack Benny Program.
At 45 sold American.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, so round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
LSMFT, LSMFT, LSMFT.
Yes, sir. Right you are.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Remember, in a cigarette, it's the tobacco that counts. The better the tobacco, the better the cigarette. And remember, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, first, last, and always, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. At markets now open in the South, independent tobacco experts, auctioneers, buyers, and warehousemen present at the auctions can see the makers of Lucky Strike consistently select the riper, the naturally milder Lucky Strike tobacco. So smoke the smoke tobacco experts smoke. Lucky Strike.
Hello, everybody. This is Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move the clock back 10 minutes and see what happens before a radio program goes on the air. So now we take you backstage to Jack Benny's dressing room where Jack is relaxing.
I sure hate to wake the boss up, but the program goes on in 10 minutes. Just look at him lying there, sleeping like a baby. Yep, just like a baby. Maybe I ought to take his thumb out of his mouth again.
Now, Hetty, please. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Hetty. Stop it. Paulette, please, you're tickling my ear. Lana, stop kissing me. You too, Hetty. Hetty, stop.
Boss, wake up! You went to sleep to relax.
Huh? What? Oh, it's you, Rochester.
Yeah, and don't look so disappointed.
What?
You were talking in your sleep again.
Oh, yes. I dreamt that I was making a political speech.
That was a political speech?
Yes.
Well, with those people on your side, you'll even carry Maine and Vermont.
What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing, boss. You better hurry. You haven't got too much time before the broadcast.
Oh, the broadcast, always the broadcast, like a ghost that keeps haunting me week after week. Monday, I think of ideas. Tuesday, I meet with my writers. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we write. Saturday, I rehearse. Then on Sunday, I do my program. In a half hour, it's all over. And for what, I ask you? For what?
For a lousy $1 million.
No, Rochester, no. You have the wrong slant on life. Money isn't everything.
Boss, wake up!
I am awake. Gee whiz, look what time it is. I better hurry. Oh, darn it, I'm sorry I took that nap. Whenever I sleep, I toss and turn, get all rumpled up. How does my hair look?
Fine, boss, fine. You want to put it on now?
Yes, hold the mirror for me, please. Rochester looks awful. It's sticking up all over. What happened to it?
Remember yesterday when you asked me to shampoo your hair?
Yes?
Well, the sideburns got caught in the wringer.
Ringer, you washed it in a washing machine? Rochester, that's the worst mistake you could make.
A worse one was putting starch in the water.
Starch?
You look so Nelson Eddies with those crisp curls.
Rochester, don't you ever put my hair in the washing machine. Told you time and again I want you to lux it along with my undies.
Yes, sir.
Now, where's mine?
Jack, we'll be on the air in 6 minutes. You better hurry.
Oh, hello, Mary. I'll be right with you. Rochester, help me on with my jacket.
Yes, sir. There you are, boss.
Thanks. How does the jacket look on me, Mary? Does it drape too much around my shoulders?
I don't know. Where are your shoulders?
Mary, save those till we get on the air. And then save them again.
Oh, Jack, don't be so irritable. I was only kidding.
I'm sorry, Mary. Just that I've got 1,000 things on my mind. I'm trying to do a program. I haven't got a singer.
Well, what about John Charles Thomas?
I can't get him. He's on every week for Westinghouse. But I still haven't given up hopes of getting Frank Sinatra. What are you laughing at?
What a combination. You and Sinatra on the same program.
What's so funny about that?
Old blood and guts and no blood and bow tie.
Mary, don't pull that on the show. You'll get hit with a bobby sock.
Okay, let's get going.
Wait a minute. Here, Rochester, I want you to spray a little perfume on me.
Yes, sir.
A little more. Ah,
Is that enough, boss?
yes.
Now stand back while I sweep the dead flies out.
Flies? Stop exaggerating.
That one put up a struggle.
Yeah, now let's go. Rochester, I'll be back in about 35 minutes. While I'm gone, I want you to press the suit I wore down here and the tie, shine my other shoes, darn my socks, and think up a few jokes for next week's program.
But, boss, I'm your valet. You got writers to think up jokes.
Don't be so selfish. They help you mow the lawn.
Yeah, that's right. And since we lost our lawnmower, that rider with the buck teeth and revolving head is a definite asset.
Yes, I wish I had more like them. Come on, Mary. Say, Mary, what was happening on stage when you left?
Oh, the usual thing. Don was helping Phil memorize his lines.
Gosh, isn't it awful the way Phil has to spend all week memorizing his part? I wish he'd learn to read. He can't even find his dressing room with his name on it.
Worse than that. I bumped into him twice this morning where he shouldn't have...
I know. Come on, let's get into the studio.
Oh, hello, Jack.
Hello, Don. Are we all ready to start?
Oh, I think so. But, Jack, I've been going through the script, and there's one line that you have in it that I'd like to change.
What is it?
It's here on page 12. Don't you think it would be better to say, Don Wilson reads commercial instead of blubber does plug?
Oh, Don, it doesn't make any difference. That's just a stage direction.
Hiya, Jackson.
Oh, hello, Phil. How'd the orchestra rehearsal go?
Everything's all right, Jackson. Lawrence just put 4 strings on his violin.
4 more strings?
That makes 8 all told.
You mean he's playing a violin with 8 strings?
Well, yes, my other fiddle player was drafted. We got to make up for it somehow.
Well, that's ridiculous. A violin with 8 strings. You've seen my violin. It's only got 4 strings.
Well, you're cheap with everything.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm sure of one thing, Phil. You'll never be another Stokowski or a Toscanini.
Whom?
Whom? Toscanini and Stokowski. They happen to be the world's most famous orchestra leaders.
Oh, they are, eh?
Yes.
Then how come Harry James holds the attendance record at the Palladium?
Well, I ought to have my head examined for
We
even...
go on the air in 30 seconds, everybody.
Thank you, Don. Now, look, Phil.
Just a minute, Jackson. I got to get my boys ready. All right, fellas, 30 seconds to go. Put away them cards, take the money off the bass drum, and stand it back up. And Frankie, put that away, too.
What?
I said put that away, too.
I can't find the cork.
Oh, well, stick a mute in it or something. And hurry, because we...
Stand by! Take it!
The Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, and yours truly, Don Wilson.
Is You Is or Is You Ain't My Baby, played by Phil Harris, and his Death Takes a Holiday for Strings Orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in our new radio series, we bring you our thrilling, dramatic feature. Another episode in the exciting, adventurous career of that famous crime-busting, fearless master detective, Captain O'Benny.
John, help me pick Jack up.
Okay.
Are you all right, Jack?
Yes, thank you. That fearless, crime-busting master detective, Captain O'Benny. Now, Mary, you play the part of Mrs. H. Beacon Van Storage. You live in a big mansion. You live in a big mansion, have 4 mink coats, 6 yachts, and $80 million.
Gosh, Jack, how did I get so rich?
You sold your car to Muntz. Now, of course, I'm going to play the part of that fearless, crime-busting master detective, Captain O'Benny.
Oh, Jack, why do you always play those tough parts when you're such a coward? You're even afraid of the dark.
I'm not a coward, and I'm not afraid of the dark.
Go on, you've got a bodyguard with you all night long.
Mary, lots of people have bodyguards.
Well, the least you could do is get twin beds.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
You fired the last guy because he had cold feet.
Mary, say that funny stuff for the sketch. Now, let's get on with it because we haven't got... Excuse me. Come in.
Hello. Remember me? I'm Hyman Peabody, the insurance salesman.
Oh, hello, Herman. I'm busy now.
I know, Mr. Benny, but I just dropped in to talk to you about that life insurance policy you took out last spring.
Why? I've been paying the premiums.
I know, but for an extra 15 cents a month, you get an added protection now.
An added protection?
Yeah, we pay you double if the planet Mars crashes into the Earth.
Oh, Herman, who thinks up those silly policies? If the planet Mars crashed into the Earth, everybody'd be killed. The money wouldn't be any good to me.
Yeah, but at least you wouldn't feel like a sucker.
All right, Herman, all right. If it'll make you happy, I'll take it. Here's your 15 cents.
Thank you. And here, Mr. Benny, This goes with the Planet Mars policy.
What's that?
A telescope. If you see it coming, get out of the way.
Well, thank you, Herman, thank you. But you better go now. I'm upset enough as it is. I'm trying to do a program. I haven't got a singer or anything.
Well, gee, Mr. Benny, you don't have to look any further. I'm your man.
But Herman.
On the road to Mandalay.
Herman, please.
Where the flying fishes play.
Herman, look.
And the dawn comes up like thunder. Boom.
Boom.
Out of China.
That's very good, Herman. That's fine. Look, now sit down, will you?
Maybe you'd like a novelty.
No, Herman. I don't want a novelty. Sit down.
I sing a song and imitate an electric organ at the same time.
Herman, please, really, I haven't got time. Herman, stop! Herman, stop! People will think this is a Spike Jones program. Now, will you please sit down? Let me get going with my show.
Yes, sir, and I'll hold your telescope.
Good. Now, let's see, where was I? Oh, yes, now, Mary, as I said before, you're the rich Mrs. H. Began Van Storage, and you murder your husband. Now, in the first
Say,
scene...
Jack, am I going to be in your sketch, too?
Yes, Don, you're going to be the big fat corpse. Now, in the first scene...
Oh, gee, I never get anything to say. Every time you do a mystery sketch, I'm the corpse.
Well, it's your own fault, Don. Every time you have a couple of lines to say, you always make a commercial out of it. And I'm not taking any more chances.
But I have a wonderful idea for your mystery.
Some other time, Don. Now, Phil, get away from the window and give Herman back that telescope. What a guy. Now, Phil, you're going to play the part of my assistant, Sergeant O'Hara.
Okay, Jackson.
Now, in the first scene...
But, Jack, I really do have a wonderful idea for your sketch.
Okay, Don, what is it?
Well, I feel if you have a murder, you must have a motive. And in my idea, the motive is a diamond necklace.
Say, that's interesting.
You see, you're searching for the necklace, but you can't find it. You're on the right street, but you don't know which apartment house to go to. And I'm the only one who knows.
Gosh, what intrigue. Continue, Don. Continue.
Well, the house you're looking for is on the left-hand side of the street in the middle of the block, the front apartment on top.
Left side, middle of block, front on top. I'll have to remember that.
Just think of left side, middle, front, top.
Left side, middle, front, top.
Yes, LSMFT.
I knew it! He was going for a commercial all the time. You didn't fool me for a minute.
But, Jack, it's just a coincidence that LSMFT also stands for Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Oh, sure, a coincidence.
Sure, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed.
Jack, why did you shoot Don?
I couldn't help it, sister. I'm free and easy on the draw. Don, I'm sorry I shot you.
Oh, that's all right, Jack. Anything for a commercial.
Yeah, thanks. And just for that, instead of being the corpse in our sketch, you can be one of my assistants. Now, Mary, when the scene opens, we find you at your... Excuse me, Mary. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
I understand that you're in the market for a singer.
Well, yes, I am. But right now, we're preparing...
My name is Nazaro, Cliff Nazaro.
Well, look, as long as you're here, I might as well talk to you. You're a singer?
Yes, sir.
You've sung professionally?
Yes, sir.
How long?
4 years.
Where?
Western Union.
Western Union?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
Wait a minute.
Don't you like it?
That's awful.
I sing much better on a bicycle.
Look, Mr. Nazaro, I hate to turn you down, but I'm afraid you're not the type.
Anyway, Jack, why don't you talk to him later? We've got a sketch to do.
Wait a minute, Jackson. Why don't you give the kid a chance? Let him show you what he can do.
Thanks, Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil?
All right, so he's my nephew. What's the difference as long as he can sing?
All right, kid, go ahead. What are you going to sing?
I'll sing a chorus of I'll Remember, and in the second chorus, I do a recitation.
Well, that's swell. Go right ahead. Go ahead.
I'll remember how I thrilled at the sight of you. I'll remember how the dream of my heart came true. I'll remember...
Hey, not bad.
How we stood in the moon glow, So
Hey, the kid has
young and
possibilities.
free,
You know that, Mary?
So glad
Kidding is all right.
to be
Kid's
alone.
all
I'll remember cigarettes we forgot.
Cigarettes? Oh, that's a plug for the sponsor. Cigarettes, you see, that's good.
And the
Oh, you love that. George Washington Hill, you love that.
that we missed when we kissed goodnight.
You think so, fellas?
All those moments spent
Does Mert like it?
in paradise for two.
Beautiful.
I'll remember. Will you? I'll remember the look in your eyes at that first fraternity dance and that crazy, indescribable feeling I had when we first spoke of as a sort of pirates. It wasn't that little captive voice. It was the way you looked at my costume and gave me that fuss that day I crapped as a hootin' stick crapple ball about it.
Huh?
We found out that love isn't just a captive of mates.
What's that?
It's together we went. We went through all those things. I
Hey,
went
wait
on
a
your
minute,
porch
fella,
one
wait a
night and
minute.
asked you if you sat around about it, and you did.
Look, what is this anyway?
It was a manic craze that I feel. That
What do you
love-
want to be, a singer or tobacco
hold on,
auctioneer?
I'll remember. Will you? Well, Mr. Benny, how'd you like it?
I don't know. I'll tell you what. Keep in touch with me. In the meantime, I'll think about you and your Uncle Phil's option. Now, you might as well sit down and hear the rest of the program. And now, folks, to the thrilling, blood-curdling adventure in the life of that master detective, Captain O'Benny.
The scene opens behind closed doors at police headquarters.
Police headquarters, Captain O'Benny talking. What? What was that, madam? 323 Beverly Drive? Well, what about it? You returned home suddenly, found your husband dead? Oh. Well, you want the flower shop. It's Hillside, 759... You're welcome.
Say, Captain, let's finish this checker game.
Okay. It's your move, Wilson.
Hey, Captain, your other phone's ringing. Shall I get it?
No, Harris, I'm expecting that call. I'll take it. Hello? What? 4 dozen white carnations? Yes, madam, I'll send her. I know the address, 323 Beverly Drive. Goodbye.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Captain, running a police station with a flower shop on the side.
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it? How can I be a tough-looking cop with a petunia in my lapel? And you and your ad.
Never mind that. Now let's get back to that checker game. It's your move, Wilson. Come in. Yes?
Hello, boys. I happen to be strolling down this way, so I thought I'd drop in and see the captain.
Well, I'm the captain.
So you're the captain, eh?
Yes.
Oh. What about you, Curly?
I'm a sergeant.
What's holding you back, good looking?
Look, miss, what is it you want?
Well, don't let it frighten you, but my husband was shot and the murderer is still in the house.
Leave it to me. Oh, Harris.
Yes, Chief.
Get the shotguns, the handcuffs, the tear gas, the fingerprint equipment, the squad car, and an A coupon. Hurry.
Oh, say, Chief, aren't you going to finish this checker game?
Checker game at a time like this? We got to hurry and catch that. Madam, did you say the murderer was still in the house?
Yes.
It's your move, Wilson. Go ahead.
Oh, Chiefy, come on. Let's go solve that nasty old murder.
Well,
Will you go if I give you a kiss?
I don't want the boys to think I'm taking a bribe, so I'll kiss you.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute. What are you feeling around my throat for?
Anything that kisses like that must have a keg of brandy around its neck.
Thank you. All right, men. All right, men. Let's go. And we'll solve this murder mystery, or my name ain't... Oh, now what? Come in.
Come on, son. Mr. Benny?
Huh?
I heard you're looking for a singer for your program.
Oh, no, not now. I'm broadcasting. I'm right in the middle of a sketch. Come back some other time.
Now, wait a minute, mister. I dragged my kid all the way up here from downtown to see you, and I ain't taking no brush off.
Look, madam, I'll listen to your boy. I'll listen to anybody, but first I want to finish the program.
I can't hang around that long. The Wilshire bus is out in the parking lot waiting for me.
A Wilshire bus up here on Vine Street in a parking lot? That's impossible.
No, it ain't. I'm the driver.
Well, look, I'll have to talk to you later. Right now I'm doing
Jack, the sketch is spoiled anyway. You might as well talk to her.
Oh, all right.
Thanks, Mr. Benny. My boy's really a nice kid. His name is Wilbur.
Well, that's a very nice name. Hello, Wilbur.
Hello.
Wilbur, your mother tells me you'd like to be on my program.
Uh-huh.
Look, madam, how old is your boy?
He's 15.
15?
Yeah, you want to make something out of it?
Oh, no. Wilbur's a nice-looking boy.
I like you. You're silly.
Look, Wilbur.
Now, Wilbur, you mind your mother and talk nice to the man.
Oh, gee, boy, you said you wouldn't yell at me no more since I had to go to the doctor.
You had to go to the doctor, Wilbur?
Uh-huh. For 3 whole weeks, I couldn't see. I couldn't see nothing at all. So they took me to the doctor, and now I can see 5.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Wilbur. What'd the doctor do?
He gave me a haircut.
Oh, my goodness. Look, Wilbur, it's no use. I haven't heard you sing, but I know there's something wrong with your voice. I know.
I told you I ain't taking no brush off. Go on, Wilbur, sing.
Oh, no.
Wilbur, sing.
Uh-uh.
Wilbur, if you don't sing, when we get back to the bus, I won't let you smell the exhaust pipe.
You won't?
No. Wilbur, stop crying.
Oh, this is all my fault. Wilbur, stop crying.
Okay.
Now, Wilbur, go ahead and sing.
Okay, Mom, wait till I get warmed up. Bee.
Wait a minute, wait. Wilbur, if you're going to sing, take your hat off.
What, let my bees get away?
Bees? You keep bees in your hat?
Well, sure. When I put them in my shirt, they keep stinging my rabbit.
That's all, brother, that's all. Out. You too, madam, out.
I ain't taking no brush
There's the
off.
door. Out.
Hit him, Bob.
Hey, she wouldn't dare. I got a bodyguard.
Wait a minute.
Out. There's the exit. Out.
Wait a minute. You ain't give me no brush.
Out. What do I have to go through to get a singer?
Jack will be back in just a minute, but first, here is my good friend, Mr. F.E. Boone.
At 45 sold American.
Many things change with the years, but here's one thing you can depend on always. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Yes, first, last, and always. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
The famous tobacco auctioneers heard on tonight's program are Mr. F.E. Boone of Lexington, Kentucky.
At 44 sold American.
And Mr. L.A. Speed Riggs of Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Sold American.
And this is Basil Rysdale speaking for Lucky Strike. LSMFT, LSMFT, LSMFT.
Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, and fine tobacco means real deep down smoking enjoyment for you. So smoke the smoke tobacco experts smoke. Lucky Strike.
now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jack Benny again. I have an important message for all of our listeners. Again this fall, the people of the United States are asked to support the National War Fund with their dollars to meet the daily increasing needs of 22 major war relief and service organizations. The campaign has been on since September 25th, and the goal of $250 million must be reached by November 1st. Every dollar given to the National War Fund does a three-way job. It aids our own fighting forces, helps the suffering people of our allies, and fills vital needs here at home. So give freely to your local National War Fund now. Thank you, and good night, everybody.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Tales of Espionage are coming at you with CounterSpy next.
Washington calling David Harding, CounterSpy. Washington calling David Harding, CounterSpy.
Harding, CounterSpy. Calling Washington.
United States CounterSpy. Especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the hijacked country. A thrilling counter-spy report to the American people. One evening in the Assembly Hall of Counter-Spy headquarters in Washington, Chief David Harding was addressing a counter-spy training group of over 100 young men and women.
Lecture 17, Technique of Modern Revolution. In years to come, many of you will serve in foreign posts, and I want you to know how a few daring individuals can seize an entire country. In former times, pitched battles were fought. In modern times, control is cleverly seized by shrewdly planned action. Battles come later. Maybe. Now, this technique of revolution may also be used for other purposes. As we learned when I recently sent my assistant, Harry Peters, to Costaguana in South America, where, as you know, the United States is interested in Las Rosas pitchblende mines for uranium. Peters.
Yes, Mr. Harding.
With that map, will you tell the group something about Costaguana?
Well, Costaguana lies on the east coast of South America, neighboring on Puerto Blanca. Spanish is the language of the population, mostly farmers and ranchers, of 1,200,000. A close friend of the United States, Costaguana has no army, only a national police force of some 800 men. Las Rosas pitchblende mines are in the mountains, here. And that was where I reported to the administrative officer, one Colonel Juan Martino.
Easy, Chico. Easy, boy.
I beg your pardon, Colonel Martino?
Yes, senor?
I'm Harry Peters, United States Counterspies. My credentials and orders to report to you, sir.
Ah, Senor Peters. Welcome to Las Rosas Mines. Did you have a good journey?
Fine, thank you, sir. I flew to Porto Alegre and then took ship to Costaguana, and by horse up here into the mountains. I'm surprised that road can't be used by cars and trucks.
Next year we plan to build a new highway, Senor Peters. Have you seen yet the counter-spy you will replace as security officer?
Jorgensen? Yes, sir, I have. He's very anxious to start the long trip home.
Yes, no doubt.
You know, Colonel, I've never seen such beautiful mountains. The contrast with the tropical seacoast is amazing.
And the life, too, Senor Peters. Here we work day and night. 2,000 miners and their machines to get pitchblende. But in the tropical climate of the coast, there is relaxation, gaiety. And, of course, it is down there they make the political troubles.
Mm-hmm.
I hope there will be no troubles while you are here.
Tell me, how often do you deliver pitchblende ore to the coast, Colonel?
Oh, once a month, senor. In fact, a shipment is about to leave. Here, come.
Mm-hmm.
One manner of working will interest you, ours, and you should know all the details in any case.
Do you keep an armed force here, Colonel?
A few men, senor. But when we send the ore down to the port, police are sent from the capital to various danger points on the road. We take no chances.
I see. My duties, I understand, include riding down with the ore shipment next month.
Yes. But this time, of course, you need not go, since the other CounterSpy starts his journey home. Ah, here we are.
Well, that's quite a sight, Colonel.
You see those carts, each drawn by 8 mules with bells and handled by a driver and a relief man? Oh, yes. Now they are about to start.
So long, Jorgensen. Give my regards to Mr. Harding.
Better. Come in. Wait, Pasco. Stand right there.
Senor Fulton, you put a hole in my new hat.
I ought to have put it in your head, Pasco. I've been waiting for you for 2 weeks. When did you arrive from Costaguana?
An hour ago, Senor Fulton, and I stopped on the way only to buy this new hat. Costaguana, the hats are not good. I must always buy them here in Puerto Blanca. Now I must buy another.
You and your hats. Have you any news?
Si. At last, Senor Fulton. All is in readiness.
Men?
100 men you can trust to the death.
Weapons?
Submachine guns, 80. Garand rifles, 20. Automatics, 40.
Yes.
And grenades, 6 for each man. Ammunition, more than enough. Knives, 1 for each man.
Good. Technicians?
5 men. Experts in all means of communications, telephone and radio.
And the next shipment from the mine?
Well, one shipment left the Las Rosas mines 3 weeks ago. The next will go in next Tuesday.
Ah. And the shipment is worth... How much would you say, Pasco?
Quien sabe? $1 million? $2 million?
10 million.
I am overcome by amazement, senor, every time I reflect upon this scheme of yours. To steal an entire shipload of uranium ore.
Steal a shipload? Why, Pasco, we're going to hold up an entire country. The greatest hijack in history. Making prisoners of over 1 million people for as long as we need. And right under the noses of the whole world. Why, we'll knock their eyes out. Like this. 1, 2, 3.
And soon, Senor Peters, this vein of the mine will be extended another 500 feet into the mountain.
I see. How long will the mine last, Colonel?
The experts tell me 50 years, senor. But let us hope that before that, the world will have no more need of uranium for bombs, but only for peace.
You can double that, Colonel.
You have seen almost everything, senor. Shall we go back to the surface?
I'm ready. I make my first trip with the card convoy on Tuesday. I've got some reports to send first to Washington, just saying everything under control.
Senor Fulton, we will be at the presidential palace of Costaguana.
No danger of President Ramos changing my appointment, is there, Pasco?
Oh, no, senor. He's a mild little man, a former professor at the university. And your appointment was made by important friends of ours. While you are with him, 2 of our men will stay in the anteroom and make sure no one intrudes.
It is an honor to Costaguana, Senor Fulton, that so many important American businessmen like yourself come here to help develop our country.
I appreciate your feelings, Mr. President.
Now, I wish you to tell me in what way I can help. As president of Costaguana, I am anxious to convince our good friends of North America that we will do everything...
Mr. President, you don't have to convince anybody in the States. Just me, right here in your office.
But you produce a pistol. I do not understand this kind of American joke.
It's no joke, Mr. President.
I am the president in the very center of our capital city. It is incredible.
You mean you don't believe I'd kill you?
Kill me?
All you have to do is to believe your eyes. Look at this gun. Think about a bullet coming out of it, aimed at your chubby little body.
I understand. But why do you do this?
I'm taking over your whole country. For a day, 2 days, a week. As long as I need it.
Revolution. But you must have an army, thousands of men. You...
Mr. President, I am pulling my revolution with just 100 men. In the modern way.
You are a madman, Senor Fulton.
Am I, Mr. President? Why, your country has no army, so I need only 3 points of control. You for the top authority, communications, and the police. With those in my hands, everything will seem to go on as before, except for this gun aimed at your stomach. The greatest hijack in the world, a whole country. Simple, isn't it, Mr. President?
Company, halt! Mendoza, take your 5 men into this wing of the building, the telephone section. Proclaim the revolution in the name of the people, and kill any of those people who make trouble. What? March! Luis, 10 men into the radio and telegraph section. Take control, and keep everything going as usual. What? March! All right, the rest of you, with me into this wing, the administration. Come. Attention! Men, take your position. All right, all of you, listen. We proclaim a revolution in the name of the people. No one will be hurt unless he makes trouble. Go on doing your jobs as if nothing had happened. If you fail or try to escape, look at my men all around the room. And look at their guns. You, senor. You are the director of communications?
Si, but please have your revolution, but do not disturb us.
You will make no trouble?
Oh, no trouble. I only want everything to go smoothly. It is very hard to make things go smoothly. I do not want your revolution to disturb everything.
Very good. A healthy way to feel. The rest of the building is already in our hands. A man trying to escape. Shoot him, you fool! Silence! Silence! That is what happens to anyone who makes trouble. Is that clear? Now, Senor Director, you will pick up that telephone and connect me directly with the office of Presidente Ramos.
What?
The direct private number.
Si, only please do not disturb the communication.
I will take that telephone.
Hello.
Senor Fulton, it is Pasco. We are in total command.
Good work. And on time, too. President Ramos has just signed his first order. But, of course, you know what it is.
Si, Senor Fulton. We will transmit that order at once.
To Chief of National Police, an order from the President to remove all police from their positions along the road from Las Rosas mine. Presidente Juan Ramos.
Now, Mr. President, do I pull this trigger, or do you telephone this next message I've written out for you?
Very well. Hello? You will send this telegram to Las Rosas mine by order of Presidente Ramos. Emergency. To safeguard the pitch blende. The shipment will be taken by the convoy not to the freighter USS Flygull as previously ordered, but to the independent freighter at Pier 14. Signed, Ramos, Presidente.
Urgent message for Mr. Harding. This is Peters in Costaguana. Just received orders signed by President Ramos to divert current pitchblende shipment from regular ship to another. Colonel Martino in command here, not disturbed, but I am. Also, farmers from neighborhood report that all police have been removed from danger points along highway. Fearing political trouble, I am requesting investigation and return advice. Call 030. Every hour on the hour.
Mr. Harding will reach our destination in about 2 hours.
Thanks, Edward. I'm seriously worried by Peter's latest reports. They suggest a revolution. We'll have to land in Puerto Blanca across the frontier from Costaguana. I wish I knew what's happened to Peters.
Senor Peters, the convoy is ready to leave the mine.
Colonel Martino, I beg you once more, telephone the President's office for a confirmation of this order to deliver to a different ship.
I'm a soldier, senor. I cannot question orders.
Colonel, look. Just arriving. Isn't that a detachment of mounted police?
Ah, yes. You see, senor, your fears were foolish.
Martino? Tracy. Martino, I am Captain Putt. I have orders to escort the convoy to the harbor with these 50 men.
Very good, Captain Pasco. This is Senor Peters of the United States CounterSpy.
Ah, you will be with us, senor?
Yes.
Colonel Martino, do you know this man?
No, but still he has the order.
Colonel, the police have been removed, and now this officer you don't know with a police detachment you didn't expect.
Si, Senor Peters. Captain Pasco, will you and your men please dismount? The convoy cannot start. We must wait.
Wait? My orders are to start at once.
Captain, you take your orders from the colonel.
I do not take any from you, CounterSpy. Men, arrest the American.
Wait, Captain.
Be quiet, Colonel. What? You will be shot next, CounterSpy, unless you do obey orders.
Not your orders, Pasco.
Come back here. Captain, he is running away. Sergeant, take 2 men and follow him. The rest of you, start the convoy.
Mr. Harding, we're coming down to land.
Yeah. Hope this plane isn't too big for the landing strip.
Here's the boat.
All right, Edward. Let's go.
All right.
Mr. Harding.
Oh, that's Peters,
Yeah.
Mr. Harding. Got here safely.
Hello, Peter.
Hi, Edward.
Well, good to see you, Peter.
And a narrow squeak, huh?
Yes, after I broke away from that phony police captain, Pasco, 3 men trailed me for about 6 hours as I headed for the border in this rendezvous point.
Yeah?
I lost them early this morning.
Peters, we've had some reports during our flight from the secret listening posts we maintain in Costaguana.
Yes?
There doesn't seem to be a real revolution going on. Neither the radio broadcast nor the newspapers have mentioned it. But communications and the police and President Ramos seem to be under outside control.
All to steal that shipment of ore.
A scheme, Mr. Harding. Who's at the head of it, Peters?
No idea at all.
Well, whoever it is certainly understands modern methods. All he sees were the 3 things he needs most: authority through the president, force through the police, and communications.
But why steal a shipload of pitchblende ore?
Well, it might be transferred to other ships at sea under the orders of some country that need uranium. They'll all have scattered before anything can be done.
What are our chances now, Chief?
Have you got your shortwave radio, Peter?
Yes.
Now, we'll use that to reach our listening post in the capital of Costaguana. Pull together a force of armed men. Now, we'll meet them at the seaport at the point where the highway from the mountains reaches the dock area. Let's go.
Come in, Pasco.
Si, senor. I see everything is calm elsewhere in the presidential palace.
And it's calm in here, too.
Ah, el Senor Presidente.
sleep. Collapsed. I'm dead myself. Haven't slept for 48 hours. Have you got any news since that counter-spy escaped you?
See, when I came into the city just a while ago, I obtained several reports from our own observers. There are rumors around the city of other counter-spies.
Other counter-spies?
See.
How could they get into the country without my knowing?
Rumors say they came from over the frontier.
Then you've got to assign men, not police, but some of our own men, to hunt them down and kill them.
I will do so.
Now, the convoy from the mine. It's due to arrive at the ship at 7 tonight, right?
In 2 hours.
Good. You go and send the men out after those counter-spies, then phone me here and I'll join you at the ship. Now go on, get going.
Hold it, men. Now, we've overpowered the outside guard of the communications building. Now, the big job. The administration wing. I'm afraid we can't take it without violence.
There must be a lot of the regular personnel being held in there, Mr. Harding.
You'll have to break in and warn them fast before any shooting starts.
That's my job.
Attention, everybody. Throw yourselves on the floor. Abajo.
Please do not disturb everything.
You men with machine guns, surrender. All right, men, fire.
From United States CounterSpy, Chief of National Police. Criminal revolutionary plot exposed. Attempt to steal entire shipload of pitchblende ore. Your loyal cooperation requested. We have just learned that the convoy is already at the docks. Please concentrate every available man at Pier 14. CounterSpies will meet you there.
All you men, unload those carts onto the ship, and fast. Pasco.
Si, Senor Potter.
Either our men keep the loading going fast.
Si.
The whole job has to be done in 6 hours. Ship sails with the morning tide, and we've got to be ready.
Si, Senor. I will get
Fulton! Here's John Fulton on this dock.
Senor, name? Who wants John Fulton?
This is David Harding, United States CounterSpies. The entire dock is surrounded by 500 armed police. We call on you to surrender.
No surrender, Harding.
It's my duty to warn you to try to save the lives of innocent people. If you personally do not surrender, we attack.
Senor Fulton, we are defeated.
Not yet, Pasco. Maybe they'll get me, but I get Harding first. Get out of my way.
What's your answer, Fulton?
I'm coming. You men, clear out of my way.
Senor,
I did of it. Oh, my case. Look.
Which one of you is David Harding?
I'm Harding, Fulton. Tell your men on this dock to drop their weapons. You drop that pistol.
The light's not good here, Harding. Step out where I can see you better.
With pleasure. But don't try anything. There are 5 rifles aimed right at you. Can you see me clearly enough now?
Yes. But do you know what you've done, Harding? You've spoiled the biggest crime in history. Hijacking a whole country.
It was well planned, Fulton. You wasted a good brain on a useless crime.
I'll be famous forever, Harding.
For this scheme of yours?
Yes. And also because I'll be the man who killed you.
We got it, Chief. The rest of you men, surrender.
He didn't hit you, did he, Chief? I threw myself aside as he fired. One bullet got me in the arm, the left arm.
We'll get you to a doctor.
Oh, it's a flesh wound. We can bind it up for the moment. I guess a little blood's a cheap price to pay for putting this fellow Fulton out of the way. Peters, what an amazing waste of ability.
Tonight's CounterSpy program originated in New York and was directed by Leonard L. Bass, dramatized by Paul R. Milton, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer with music by Jesse Crawford.
Hey, man, how about we check in with Fibber, Magee, and Molly next? That sounds good to me.
The Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber, Magee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber, Magee, and Molly with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The script is by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie. Music by the Kingsmen and Billy Mills Orchestra. You spread a cheerful new glow when you apply Glow Coat to your linoleum. You give your linoleum a warm, bright luster that makes your kitchen a prettier room to look at, a cheerier room to work in. That's because there's a new glow in Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat. A glow that makes your linoleum shine more brightly, far more brightly than before. Now, the time it takes to get that new glow is 20 minutes. The work it takes, well, there really isn't any work. You just quickly spread Johnson's Glow Coat over the floor and let it dry. Johnson's Glow Coat shines itself without rubbing or buffing. And you know, the pleasure you get from using Glow Coat is doubled when you find that its beautiful finish is a tough finish. It resists dirt, grime, and the liquids that naturally get spilled in a kitchen. And it's as easy to clean as a polished tabletop. A few strokes with a damp cloth and your waxed linoleum is glossy again. Your dealer now has Johnson's Glow Coat with the new glow in the same familiar red and yellow container. Ask for this self-polishing floor wax Glow Coat tomorrow. Well, maybe it's true that there's a broken heart for every light on Broadway. We wouldn't know, but we do know that there's a citizen burning about a burned-out streetlight in front of 79 Wistful Vista. Listen to him sizzle as we join Fibber, Magee, and Molly.
By George, I ain't going to go through another night like the night I went through last night. With that street light out in our front yard as dark as a prospector's towel. I didn't sleep a wink all night.
You didn't?
No, ma'am, I didn't. Not a wink.
Well, if I'd known you were up and around, I'd have had you search the bedroom. Somebody was snoring in there, and it wasn't me.
Well, I may have dropped off for a few minutes from sheer exhaustion. I've been fighting the whole city single-handed. Here I pay my taxes regular, vote the straight ticket, no matter how many crooks are running on it, and what happens? I can't even get a streetlight repaired in front of my own house.
Well, don't shake your fist at me, sweetheart. I'm on your side.
I've called the city hall 20 times in the last 2 hours. If I don't get some action before tonight, I'm going to take it to the Supreme Court. That's what I'm going to do. I'll go higher than that. I'll take it right to Drew Pearson.
What did the city say when you talked to it? Or them?
They give me the same old mahula every time. Thank you, Mr. Magee. Thank you for calling it to our attention, Mr. McGraw. Mealy-mouthed as a crow in a cornfield, they were.
Well, I think maybe you're a little impatient, Magee. You know very well Mayor Latrivia runs a very honest and efficient administration. They'll get around to fixing our street light.
Yeah, but when? My gosh, even tomorrow might be too late.
Why?
Why, because suppose tonight I hear a suspicious noise out on the front lawn. I take my sawed-off billiard cue out from under the pillow. I sneak downstairs, softly open the front door. I hear a sound behind the bushes. I give my rebel yell, dash down the steps in the dark, trip over Mort Toops' Airedale, and bust my leg. Who pays my hospital expenses? The city? Not in our lifetime, Blue Eyes, they don't.
Well, it's a good thing you don't need a co-signer when you borrow trouble, dearie, because you certainly would...
Aha, maybe this is somebody from the street department. Listen to me blast his big fat ears off. Come in, stupid.
Come in who?
Oh, Magee, it's his honor the mayor.
Oh, hi, Latrivia. Excuse me for calling you stupid. I thought it was a city employee.
I am a city employee. I am the mayor. Fool that I am.
What he meant, Your Honor, was that he was expecting somebody from the street department.
Yeah, I got a beef with the city, Latriv.
Hasn't everybody?
Well, this isn't a very...
Look, the city treasurer has mislaid some bank books, and we don't know which bank has $400,000 of the city's money.
Heavenly days.
The Oak Street station of the fire department just notified me that they found a run in their new hose about 5 blocks long that can't be fixed with nail polish.
My gosh, that's a pretty bad situation.
The owner of the Bonton department store's little boy's dime store sailboat sank last week in the city reservoir, and he's demanding that we drain out the 7 million gallons of water to find it.
Well, I'd say that's a very unreasonable...
A water main on 14th Street exploded yesterday and blew our new safety commissioner up on top of Walt's malt shop. The city council is threatening to impeach me for 7 political reasons, none of them valid. The Housewives Protective League is going to lynch me if I don't get hamburger down to 33 cents a pound. I have an impacted wisdom tooth, my fire insurance lapsed last Friday, and my new car burned up Saturday. Now then, what's your big problem, Magee?
Our street light is out.
Since yesterday.
Molly, why I don't just hit your husband in the nose and walk out of here will have to be explained by a better psychologist than I. May I just say that the city has had a great deal of trouble with vandals removing bulbs from the streetlights. We are making a strenuous effort to correct the situation.
Latrivia, I accept your apology.
I am not apologizing. Sweet Genevieve in a marble scooter. Can't you realize I'm just about at the end of my rope? Pardon me, I'm a little upset today. A personal matter.
Concerning Mr. Maine, may I ask, Mr. Mayor?
Well, yes. I asked her to have dinner with me tonight, but it seems Dr. Gamble asked her first.
Look, boy, the best thing you can do is let her see a lot of old lard buckets. He's got about as much social grace as a cub bear with 40 foot of Scotch tape. She'll get fed up with him awful fast, boy.
Oh, I don't know, Magee. The doctor's awfully good company,
However, getting back to something more important, Latrivia, see what you can do about getting our streetlight fixed, will you? We'll really appreciate it.
Yes, we will.
Well, if you do, it'll be an interesting novelty. In my 7 years in the office of mayor of Wistful Vista, I have received exactly 1 letter of praise and approval. 1 letter crediting me with good intentions. Just 1 letter of commendation from a taxpayer. I have it framed over my desk with the taxpayer's photograph.
You mean he sent his picture with the letter?
I already had the picture. It was my mother. Good day.
Billy Mills in the orchestra and A Slow Boat to China.
light yet, dearie?
Nope. And I've been sitting here at the window, Jerry at the rat hole, watching for him, too.
That's strange.
The only sign of life around that light pole has been a woodpecker that didn't know it was iron and like to have drove his beak back through his skull. lit on that post looking like Jimmy Durante and flew away looking like Bob Hope. Hand me the phone, Tootsie.
But, dear, you just telephoned the City Hall 10 minutes ago.
Yes, and I'm going to show them monkeys that Fibber McGee ain't the type taxpayer that can mess around. Because I can act just as dumb and unreasonable as they can, and more so because I've been doing it longer. Hello, operator. Give me the City Hall again and don't... Huh? Oh, is that you, Mert?
Heavenly days, Mert.
How's every little thing, Mert? It is, eh? What's that, Mert? Your brother. Got the shakes and you had to lay off and help him for a couple of days, huh?
Hangover, was it, McGee?
No, just putting a roof on his new house. Tried 6 lumber yards before he got the shakes. Oh, what say, Mert? Okay, I'll call again later. Line's busy.
Well, taxpayer, while you keep the city administration on its toes, I'll trot out in the kitchen and make some coffee. Let me know if anything happens now, dearie.
Okay, love boat. Oh, there goes a good kid. Every time I start making a mug of myself, what does she do? Treats me like I was a mug and fills me full of coffee. That's the kind of a wife for a guy like... Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, Teeny. Hey, you seen a street department truck cruising around this neighborhood?
No, but there was a dog catcher's truck around this afternoon, so I ran home and I hid Margaret.
Who?
Margaret. She's my puppy.
Oh.
He's a cockle Spaniard.
He is, eh?
Sure he is, I bet you. And he...
I just said he is, eh?
Here's what?
A cockle Spaniard.
Who?
Margaret.
My dog?
Yes, your dog, Margaret. He's a cockle Spaniard.
I know it. He used to be a police dog, but he quit.
Eh? He used to be a police dog, but he quit. Eh? Or why?
Gee, I don't know. Papa said he was part bull and he looked so funny in his harness. Papa said we didn't want any harness bulls sleeping in our kitchen, so he decided he was a cockle Spaniard.
Very handy.
Hey, mister, why do you keep peeking out the window all the time like that? Why do you, Looking for Santa Claus or something,
Oh, I'm watching for a street department truck, sis. The street light is out in front of our house.
There's one out in front of our house, too, I bet you.
No.
And there's one out in front of Willie Toots's house, and there's one out in front of Mr. Wilcox.
I mean, the one out in front of our house is out. It ain't lit.
Gee. All the street lights are out in this block, mister.
What, they are? Oh, my gosh, I'm glad you told me, sis. Before I made a complete chump of myself. Must have been a power failure.
Oh, no.
Huh?
No, they turn them out every morning, mister. Yeah. Then they turn them on again when it gets dark. Just give them another hour or two. So long, mister.
I wonder if that kid is a midget. Hey, Molly, you know what I'm going to do? Hey, Molly! Hey!
Coffee will be ready in a few minutes, dearie. Did you call me?
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do if I don't get some service? I'm going to sue the city. They got a special court just to handle light and power cases like this.
They have. What court is that?
The circuit court. And I'll throw a short into that court that'll blow every fuse between here and...
Hello, Molly. Hi, pal. Well, what are you looking so sour about?
I got a quarrel with the city, Junior.
Oh, not again. Gee whiz, pal, you're always battling with either the city or the phone company or the weather bureau or something. What are you trying to do? Get yourself an ulcer?
Well, it's a legitimate complaint, Mr. Wilcox. The street light in front of our house is out, and they don't seem to do anything about it.
And it ain't because I ain't squawked about it, too, either. I've registered so many beefs, the Cattlemen's Association has given me my own brand.
Well, why get so excited about a street light being out? You're not out playing Run Sheep Run very late these nights, are you?
That ain't the point, Junior. The point is I'm a taxpayer, and I'm paying for street lights. When I don't get street lights, I'm being gypped. And I ain't the type of guy to sit still when I know some politician is lining his pockets at my expense.
Yes, he must have salted away at least 15 or 20 cents. Quite a nest egg if he has a small nest.
Well, don't think I'm not sympathizing with you. A dead street light can be very annoying. And I know.
What do you mean, Junior? And I got a nasty feeling I shouldn't have asked.
Well, Well, that familiar glow in front of the house must be missed as much as if you didn't use Johnson's glow coat and lost that glow inside the house.
You're right,
Because-
McGee. You're developing an instinct for these things.
I had a hunch.
Because you see, Johnson's glow coat with the new glow added gives you much the same feeling of bright hospitality that a gleaming streetlight gives out in front.
The comparison is a little forced, but I would
And
say...
with holidays approaching, what better way is there to bring a glow of cheerful cleanliness to home than Johnson's self-polishing glow coat on the linoleum? With its added glow for shining attractiveness and its better wearing qualities for those kitchen kibitzers that hang around on holidays.
Hey.
That stuff.
Waxy.
Yes, pal.
I don't want to hurry you, but I got work to do. You're leaving, aren't you?
Now, McGee, that's a very rude way to...
Oh, it's all right, Ma. It's all right. I've got to go anyway. I'm meeting my cousin, Big Overdue Wilcox.
Oh.
Meeting him at the Wistful Vista Loans on Your Signature Only plus a Pint of Blood Loan Company. I'm co-signing his promissory note.
Oh, you men and your big financial terms. What on earth does promissory mean, Mr. Wilcox?
It's a combination of two words, Molly, promise and sorry. Because every time you do, you are. So long, pal.
That guy has more cousins than a frail millionaire. Hey, I hope the light company didn't sneak up and stick a bulb in that street light while I've been talking.
No, McGee, they didn't. All the street lights just went on except ours.
Good.
But why didn't you want them to put in a new bulb? I thought that's what you were complaining about.
Because I want to stand around while they do it and make a few nasty observations, that's why. As a taxpayer, this city's employees are working for me, see? Public servants. And I got a perfect right to bawl them out any time I have... Who's that?
Well, I don't know. Shall I crawl out the back door and peek around the corner of the house? Or shall I just say, come in?
It's the old... Oh, hi, old-timer.
Hello there, Johnny. Hello, daughter.
Hello, Mr. Old-Timer. Say, you're all dressed up.
Yep. Going to a square dance tonight.
Oh?
Do-si-do and whirl them round. Swing your partners and all fall down. Turn to the left and turn to the right. My God, it just busted third time tonight. You're a square dance, kids.
No, I always been the sophisticated type, old-timer. Strictly a foxtrot, samba, and Lindy Hop man myself. Samba.
Don't let him fool you, Mr. Old-Timer. He's done more dancing in barns than a short-tailed mule and fly tie.
Oh, me too, daughter. Matter of fact, I used to fiddle for him. So I cracked my fiddle with a turkey in the straw.
You must have been playing it pretty hot.
Wasn't playing it at all, Johnny. This was a real turkey.
Oh?
He was there in the straw, and when I sat down for a breather, he bit me across the withers, and I slammed him with a fiddle. I was pretty hot-tempered in them days.
Yeah?
And a few snorts of Applejack didn't calm me down none either.
Oh, I'll bet you were quite a lad with the ladies, too, Old-Timer.
Daughter, I used to get my face slapped so often I wore a rubber mouthpiece on dates. Just like a prize fighter. Why, one time near Elkhart, Indiana, on a hayride to Mishawaka, with a cold supper and a warm school teacher. Am I boring you, Johnny?
Oh, no. But our street light's burned out, and I've been squawking for him to replace it. Hey, you want to give me a hand, old-timer?
As the engine says, when he seen the feller with a pivot tooth blowing square smoke rings, how?
Now, McGee, please
I'm
don't
going to
get
make him look cheap by putting in a new bulb myself at my own
dear.
expense. Want to hold the ladder for me, old-timer?
Johnny, I'm your boy.
Now, lads, don't get in any
Where you want the ladder, Johnny?
Right against this light pole, old-timer. That's it. Now, thanks very much. Now, steady it while I climb up. When I get to the top, I'll drop down the dead bulb, and you toss me up this good one.
Okay, Johnny. I'm just the fella can do it, too.
Yeah?
Used to toss hot rivets to my brother when we was working on the Empire State Building.
Which brother was that?
The one with the left ear burned off.
You ready? Catch the old bulb.
Drop her down.
Here she comes.
Whoop. Oh, Mr. Johnny.
for that broken glass. I dropped a light bulb down there. It finally broke.
I see that. So you're the vandal that's been stealing all the light bulbs, huh? Caught you in flagrant delectable, huh? Come on down, I told you.
Oh, now, look, officer, this is all a mistake. I wasn't stealing the bulb. I was putting a new bulb in.
Oh, sure. Let's see it.
Well, the fellow that was holding it for me ran away.
Mm-hmm. Get in the car, wise guy.
Oh, now, don't be silly. I tell you, I was...
Get in the car and be quiet.
Hey, now, just a darn minute. Hey, Molly! Hey, Molly!
Oh, poor little Johnny. I walk under a ladder and he has the bad luck. It's a strange world.
The King's Men and Stick-to-Itivity.
Christopher Columbus, a-living in Spain, showed capacity for using his brain. Studied his geography,
Had it down pat.
let him go to prove that the world ain't flat. Because she thought he was right, Queen Isabella one night gave him 3 small boats. Those 3 small boats were kind of leaky, but they started to sail. Came a hurricane, a furious gale. Waves were lashing, future looked black. Sailors started yelling.
Chris, turn back!
On that eventful day, what did Christopher Columbus say? Why, he said, stick to itivity. If you got that stuff, call stick to itivity. You're gonna do all right. Old man adversity. Gonna have his bluff called stick to itivity. Never lost a fight. Yes, sirree. You gotta stick to it right to the end. Yes, sirree. Anybody can see. You can clear the deck for opportunity by applying stick to itivity. If you got that stuff, call stick to itivity. You're gonna do all right. You're gonna do all right. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. You'll clear the deck for opportunity by applying stick to itivity. If you got that stuff, call stick to itivity. You're gonna do all right. You're gonna do all right.
So you see, Captain, everything is...
I'm not a captain, Mrs. Magee. I'm just a sergeant.
Just a sergeant with a fine Irish face like that. What held up your promotion? Dirty politics?
No, I'm not Irish either. I'm an Albanian.
Ah, Albany is a fine city. Many's the time I've been through it on the train, but always at night, so I never saw it. But this I was saying, Sergeant, this has all been a misunderstanding, hasn't it, Dr. Gamble?
Yeah, she's right, Sergeant. Magee is not the man your boys are looking for. He's a vandal, all right, but the wrong one in this case.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, Doc, your word's good around here. Hey, Jablonski, turn Magee loose. He's the wrong vandal.
Thank you, Sergeant. If the light and fire department was as efficient as the police department, this would never... Ah, hello, sweetheart. Ah. Did you get $10 in a suit of clothes, or weren't you in long enough?
Hi, Molly. Hi, Doc. Am I sprung? You are not only sprung, bucket-shaped. You are warped, twisted, bagged, and sagging. Now get your pitiful little possessions together, and I'll drive you home. Okay, mustard plasterer. What took you so long about getting here? You got no idea what I've been through down here the last couple of hours.
What were they doing to you, sweetheart? If they've sunburnt your back again, keeping you under those bright lights,
No. Nothing like that, Molly, but I'm $1.60 a head playing gin rummy with the cops, see? And if Doc had took any longer getting here, I might have lost it all back to him. I've been nursing my hands like every finger was running a fever. I was just about Look, vacuum top. Do you want to go home, or shall I ask the sergeant to toss you back in the pokey? Come on, I'm a busy man. Yeah, so am I. Beat it, Magee. Here's your hat.
Come on, dearie. For once, quit while you're ahead.
Okay, hey, just a darn minute there, Sarge. Where's my wristwatch and my cigar lighter and my 4 streetcar tokens and my honorary fire chief's badge from Lima, Ohio? In your hat, Mopey. You stay out of this, Gamble. Oh, here they are. In my hat. I thought it felt kind of heavy, but it's kind of heavy felt anyway.
Magee, the doctor...
Hey, what's the doc's rush? It wasn't him they had locked up in a smelly old room with the thickest deck of cards I ever played with. You ever try to shuffle a deck of wheat cakes? My God. Oh, you ready to leave, Doc? Well, come on, Molly. Doc wants to go.
Yes. Good evening, Sergeant.
Good night, Mrs. Magee. Night, Doc. So long, Sarge. Come on, trusty.
Oh, it's awfully sweet of you to drive us home, Doctor. We could have taken a cab, you know.
Sure, we could, Doc. In fact, I'd have suggested it, but I was afraid you'd let us.
You're so right.
Well, we certainly appreciate all your trouble, Dr. Gamble. Did we break up anything important?
Well, frankly, yes. I was at the movies with Fifi Tremaine. She's still waiting there for me, and I've got to stop on the way and buy her a box of Mars bars.
Mars bars? What for?
Because the doctor left his lady in the balcony. And here's where you live, and good night, and don't think it hasn't been fun, because it hasn't.
Good night, Doctor, and thank you again.
Good night, my dear, and you're quite welcome.
Oh, thanks, Doc.
Oh, go away.
Huh?
No, you stay here. I'll go away.
Heavenly days. What an evening. But everything turned out all right after all. The street light is fixed, and we can get some sleep now.
Yeah, and look at that baby shine.
Oh, I'm tired. Let's get to bed, Daddy.
Now, you go ahead, kiddo. I'll be in a minute. I got a little job of painting to do.
At 11 o'clock at night, Magee, you'd better get to bed.
You know I can't sleep with that thing shining in my face. It glares right in our bedroom window. I'm going to paint that dead-ratted street light black.
Oh.
I'll get the black paint and the paintbrush, and you hold the ladder.
Have you seen the glow? Have you seen the new glow that's been put into Johnson's Glow Coat? Just apply this self-polishing floor wax to your linoleum and watch that glow come out. For Glow Coat now shines more brightly, far more brightly than before. It makes your whole kitchen a brighter, happier room. And after you quickly apply it, there's nothing more you need to do to bring out that beauty. Glow Coat shines itself as it dries, produces its own warm luster without any rubbing or buffing. So, it's easy to make linoleum shine and easy to keep it shining, too. Johnson's Glow Coat forms a protective coat over your linoleum. You can pick dirt off that smooth surface with a flick or two of a damp cloth. Your dealer now has this Glow Coat with the new glow in the same familiar red and yellow container. Ask for it tomorrow. That's GLOCOAT, Johnson's Glow Coat, the self-polishing floor wax that now brings a luster to your linoleum that's brighter, far brighter than before.
Oh, Magee, for goodness sakes, will you please be quiet and go to sleep? What on earth are you giggling about?
You know when I went out to paint that street light black a while ago?
Yes?
My paintbrush slipped and busted the bulb. It's out again.
Good night, all.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Silver, wait those thrilling days of yesteryear with the Lone Ranger up next.
Fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. faithful Indian companion Tonto, the masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early days of the western United States. His strength and courage were always on the side of right against might. No man could match his daring and resourcefulness, and nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days when the West was young. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! They're riding the trail to Outlaw Valley. There's danger ahead. Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
With his features set in an expression of grim cruelty, Hawk Slade closed the door of his ranch house and made his way across the dusty yard toward the bunkhouse beyond. It was night. The bulk of his crew had returned from their duties out on the range. In the bunkhouse, their conversation was loud and jovial, but at the entrance of their employer, they suddenly fell silent. Hawk surveyed them silently for a long moment before he fixed his stare upon a slender, youthful cowboy standing just outside the circle of lamplight.
You, come here.
Me, Mr. Slade?
That's what I said. Come here.
Yeah?
You hired on here a month ago.
That's right.
When you come here, you said your name was Jack Burton.
Well,
It ain't.
Well, look, Mr. Slade, there's a lot of fellas got reasons for not telling their right name.
Your handle's Brad Whitman. You low-down skunk, you come here to spy on us.
Wait.
You're Jeff Whitman's grandson. And he planted you here to find out our plans.
Wait, Mr. Slade, listen.
All right. If you don't like it, go for your gun.
In your place in here with your crew to back you up? Oh, no, you don't, Hawk. If you aim to drill me, you'll have to do it cold. I ain't going to help you make it look like self-defense.
Yellow Coyote.
I ain't going up against these odds.
What gave you the idea you could come here and get away with a stunt like this?
How did you find out about me?
In town. Fellow there from up north recognized you. Told the barkeep told me.
Oh.
Thought 'cause you wasn't raised in these parts, nobody'd know you, huh?
Maybe. Well, seeing how you know who I am, I reckon you won't be caring about paying me wages no more, huh? Jake, if you'll just push my bedroll over this way.
Just a second. Figure you was leaving?
No use my staying on now, is there?
You must think I'm a fool.
What I think of you is my business.
You come here and hire out under a fake name. You work for me for a month. You get a chance to poke around and find out things without nobody thinking it's suspicious. And now you got the notion after all that. I'm going to just let you ride out of here to tell Jeff what you found out.
What do you mean?
I mean, whatever you've learned, it ain't going to do Jeff no good.
You saying I can't leave?
That's just what I'm saying.
You're keeping me prisoner?
Either that, or planting you 3 feet under.
Why, you...
Grab your boys, tie him up.
Let go of me! Let go, I tell you! Let go!
At that same moment, several miles from Hawk's Ranch, a masked man astride a great white stallion and an Indian mounted on a powerful paint approached the ranch house of Jeff Whitman. There's Jeff Whitman's place, Tonto. Hard to tell much this time of night. It looks as if it had pretty well gone to seed.
Look heap bad.
If that barn sagged much more, it would fall in. That corral hasn't been repaired for months.
What matter here?
I can give you the answer to that, Kemosabe, in just 2 words. Hawk Slade. 2 years ago, when I was through here last, Whitman's ranch was the show place of the county.
Can't remember.
Fine, fat cattle, rich grain fields, splendid buildings, the best of equipment. He had them all.
It's gone now.
Most of it. And from what I've been told, if things continue as they have been, what remains won't last long.
That'd be bad.
You see, Tonto, Jeff Whitman was the first rancher to enter this valley. For years, his cattle had the entire valley to themselves. And like so many others of his type, Jeff didn't recognize the signs of changing times.
What happened?
The worst was when the homestead laws were passed. Jeff didn't think they affected him until Hawk arrived.
What him do?
His men filed on the best parts of the valley.
Me savvy.
And when Jeff tried to fight back, he found that the law was against him. Of course, if it had been anyone beside Hawk who filed on the land, Jeff could most likely have gotten along with him. But Hawk came here determined to get the valley for himself. I've got an idea.
What you think?
That in the process, Hawk has gone too far. That he's been too impatient. That he's not hesitated to step outside the law.
Him crook?
Yes.
You help Jeff?
I'd like to. I'd hate to see him go under. He's the kind of man the West needs. Hawk's kind the West would be better without.
Their house.
Yes, pull up, Tonto. We'll stop here. If they hurt us, they might mistake us for their enemies. Oh, Silver. Boy.
Fella.
Tonto, I think that's Jeff you see through the window there. Come. We'll leave the horses where they are.
As the Lone Ranger and Tonto dismounted and quietly approached on foot, the elderly rancher, Jeff Whitman, paced back and forth in the darkness.
Can't see a thing out there. Don't know why Brad don't signal. For this time, he ought to be... See anything from the kitchen window, Libby?
Yes, there's nothing.
Can't figure it.
Do you think they might... Hawk might...
Might have caught him?
Yes.
It ain't easy to say. Don't know how they could, but most anything could happen. Brad's been playing a mighty dangerous game.
Too dangerous.
But the trouble is, I never even knew the boy was in these parts. Till he come here that night and said he'd heard about the fixer was in. Said he'd got a job with Hawk under another name, and he'd report anything Hawk schemed. I couldn't talk him out of it.
That's it, Jeff. Maybe Hawk hasn't planned anything yet. Maybe there isn't any news. You know, Brad told you he wouldn't light the signal fire unless he really had something to tell.
Yes, but...
But what, Jeff?
Last time I seen him, he was almighty sure he would have something to tell tonight. You recollect how he put it?
Well,
Said to keep our eyes glued to the north. And the minute we seen a light over there, I was to saddle and make dust for Grizzly Gulch. He'd meet me there. Well, now there ain't no signal. I'm afeard...
Wait, Jeff. Listen.
Eh?
I heard a horse stopping.
Say, you think
It might be Brad, Jeff. He might have ridden over here.
I'll get it. Brad, get in here. Oh.
Mr. Whitman, you don't know me.
I
but...
know you.
Well, I want
Your handle's Sandy Simpson.
Oh, wait a minute.
And you work for Hawk Slade. Stick up your hands.
Mr. Whitman, just let me talk, can't you? Let me talk.
Talk. That's what I'm waiting for.
My handle is Sandy, and I did work for Hawk, but I don't know more. Look, Mr. Whitman, I come here a stranger. I hit this valley from the west. I need the job, and the first place I come to was Hawk's. He gave me one. How was I to know then what was going on here?
I don't know. How was you?
Hey, ain't you going to give me a chance to explain?
I ain't stopping you.
But you ain't believing a word I'm saying.
I don't see no medal on you proving you always tell the truth.
Mr. Whitman, I come here hoping you'd give me a job. I come here because I found out just what kind of a snake I was working for. I was hoping I'd get a chance to use my guns again him. You won't believe me, and I don't know as I blame you. I've been hearing things. I know what you've had to put up with.
You're wasting my time. You better get...
Well, I ain't finished. You've had to put up with plenty. Every double-crossing deal Hawk's been able to think of. But you'll believe this.
Yeah?
Hawk found out Brad got a job on his place just to spy on him.
Oh, no.
What's that?
In the bunkhouse tonight. I was there. Hawk came in and told Brad he'd found him out. They jumped Brad. They got him tied up.
Oh, Jeff.
You telling this straight?
I am, Mr. Whitman, I am. They got Brad prisoner in that shanty this side of Bullhide Creek. They're keeping him there till just before sunup.
Go on.
And then they're taking him to Echo Canyon. They'll make it look like his horse slipped and went over the side.
They're going to murder him.
Quiet, Libby. Sandy.
Yeah?
I take back anything I was thinking about you. Brad's my grandson. I think more of that boy... Well, right now, that don't count. You meant what you said about working for me?
Just say so, Mr. Whitman, and I'm on your side from this second on.
Then load up your gun.
You mean that I can...
We're riding.
on, Silver. Come on, old fellow. Get him up, Scott. Head over west, Tonto. Bullhide Creek's beyond that woods. Come on, boy. Get him up, Scott. Get him up. Hurry, old fellow. Hurry.
Side by side, the two great horses thundered through the night as the Lone Ranger and Tonto bent low over their saddles, urged them to greater speed. Then, finally...
Oh, there, Silver. Oh, Scott.
There, Tonto. Through those trees. That's the cabin.
Me see him.
They'll have it guarded. You'll circle and draw their attention. Stay out of gunshot. As soon as you get in the open, start firing in the air.
Time to do it.
It'll give me a chance to break through to Brad. When I hear your shots, I'll start. All right, Kemosabe. Get going.
Get him up, Scout. Get him up.
Steady, Silver. Steady. I see him, old fellow. All right, Silver. Now. Come on. Come on, old fellow. Hurry, boy. Come on. Oh, there, Silver. Oh, boy. Oh, there. Oh.
Shoot him. Shoot him down.
Get back.
Watch out. Don't rush him. Hold back, fellas. Pick him off from here.
Hey, Brad. Hello in there. Stand aside. I'm shooting off this lot. Stand aside. Hey, in here, Brad? Where are you? Brad, speak up. Dark. Too dark to see. Brad, they got you gagged?
Hey, man. Last man.
That's you, Hawk?
Last man.
Well?
You listen?
I am.
That you better know something now that you busted in there.
Yes?
You're too late. Brad was took out of there an hour ago.
You mean?
But you're inside. We've got you surrounded. Now just try and get out.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. Old Jeff Whitman and Sandy Simpson, riding toward the shanty where Brad had been reported held prisoner, checked for the sound of gunfire.
Boss, there's fighting ahead. We better pull up till we know what's going on. Whoa there, Bronc. Whoa there.
Whoa there.
Hey, look.
What do you see?
I just seen him at the door of that shanty for a second when his gun flashed. There's a masked man in there.
Sandy, what's happened?
Well, don't ask me. All I know is... somebody spoiled things. And you better reach.
Hey, what?
One move, you old goat, and I'll let you have it.
What's the matter?
Careful.
Double-crossed me.
Fell for it, too, didn't you? See that masked gent in there?
I'll fix
Well,
you.
that's where you were supposed to be. You'd have been on Hawk's land, breaking into his property. We could have shot you down, and the law couldn't have said one word.
You skunk.
The masked man got ahead of us, but he'll pay for it. And I ain't so sure we still can't make it look like you was drilled when you come here to make trouble.
Where's Brad? Where have you coyotes got my grandson?
You're just trying to find out, huh? Now get moving.
Where is he?
I'm turning you over to Hawk. He can decide what to do with you. Go on, mister. Straight ahead.
I'll get you in.
What the?
Hey.
You drop gun.
A redskin.
Where'd you come from?
White friend in cabin. CounterSpy find way safe.
You mean that...
Take it.
My hand.
Move it, fellas. Move. fired in them trees? Who yelled just then?
Come on, Injun. Those coyotes will be coming here. We better hightail.
Oh, you wait.
But we better
This
get...
fella, him crook.
Sure, he's one of them, but why stay...
You tell Hawk we got this fella. Tell Hawk, let masked man go. We'll let this fella go.
Exchange the one for the other? Injun, that's a doggone good idea. And you, mister, you better shut up. Hawk, stop right where you are. Hold up, or a polecat working for you called Sandy eats lead.
Right up, then. That's you, Jeff?
It's me.
This a trick of some kind?
Ain't it a trick, Hawk? You like to tell you I'm done for.
Hawk, I'll make a deal with you.
What do you mean?
Let the masked man safe out of that cabin, and we'll turn Sandy here loose. If you don't, well, you can say goodbye to one of your hired gun hands. In a deal?
You gotta do it, Hawk. They mean what they say. You got to.
Yes.
Yeah?
It's a deal.
Hawk Slade had no other choice. After a short consultation, the hired gunman, Sandy, was released. And a few moments later, the Lone Ranger was free to join Tonto and Jeff Whitman.
Oh, this over. Oh, boy. Hold it. Oh. That was quick thinking, Jeff.
Don't thank me, masked man. Thank your pard here. It was his idea.
So I owe you my life again, huh, Tonto?
You saved Tonto many times.
Which doesn't change the fact that those fellas had me just about where they wanted me. I won't forget that, Kemosabe.
All right.
Where'd they go?
They headed for the home ranch.
Look, stranger.
Yes?
I don't know anything about you. That mask you're wearing says you're a crook. But if you are, I ain't asking no questions. Tonto got me out of a bad spot. You risked your life to break into that shanty because you figured Brad was there.
I came to this district to help you.
You did?
But now isn't the time to discuss that. This was a trick to get you here and take your life if possible.
Uh-huh.
But we do know Brad's in trouble because we know they've learned his identity.
Stranger, you don't think...
That they've already finished Brad?
Yeah.
I don't know. But now's the time to find out. Tonto, you and Jeff follow me.
Stranger, lead the way.
Come on, Silver.
Get him up, Scout. Get up. I'll Silver, away!
The failure of his plan to capture Jeff Whitman and the interference of the Lone Ranger enraged Hawk Slade. After venting his anger on his gunman, Sandy, he subsided into sullen silence. Finally, Sandy gathered courage and...
Say, Hawk.
Well,
you was pretty rough with me in front of the boys just now. You think it was my fault things went wrong with your scheme?
Must have done something to give it away.
But I didn't, Hawk. I swear I didn't. I never seen nobody. Never opened my mouth till I got to Whitman's place.
And how'd the masked man find out?
I don't know.
Well, nothing to be done about it now, I reckon. Forget it.
Yeah. Say, what about Brad Whitman? Do anything with him yet?
No.
Why not?
Because old Jeff will raise Cain till he finds him. And if he finds him dead...
A murder charge?
Yes, sir.
Then you're going to keep him prisoner? You ain't going to finish him off?
He'll be took care of.
But you just said that
And
you...
I wouldn't now. I won't. Not till Jeff's quit asking questions about where Brad disappeared to. After that, he'll be safe.
But between now and then, what if he's located?
He won't be. Where I've got that hombre hid away, won't nobody find him. Hey, what are you fellas poking along for? You've got to get back. Come on now. Get up.
At Jeff Whitman's ranch house, the elderly rancher, his wife, and the Lone Ranger worked feverishly on the masked man's plan to rescue Brad Whitman.
There. That's everything. Red check shirt, bandana, boots. What do you want to come back to the house for, masked man? What do you want with these duds?
You'll learn that later. These are identical with the outfit Brad wore?
Oh, yes. I know they are because I tried to give Brad these, but he said he wouldn't need them.
Good.
Anything else you want, stranger?
Yes.
Just name it.
How many men have you on the place?
Not near as many as I used to. About 7.
Which one is closest to Brad in looks and build?
Huh?
Well, Jeff, that would be Sam.
Yeah, I reckon it would.
Send for him.
Right now? This time of night?
Yes. We should reach Hawk's place just after dawn.
But I don't see what
Get
you...
him, Jeff.
Eh?
And then I'll explain exactly what I have in mind.
Jeff, you stay right there. I'll call the boy myself.
It was early morning, and 4 horsemen quietly reined in their mounts a short distance from Hawkslade's ranch house.
All right, Jeff. There's Hawk's place. You and Sam will stay here. Tonto and I will get in position. Keep to cover until you get my signal. Understand?
You bet we do.
Fine. Tonto, we'll ride up that arroyo. We'll leave our horses there and approach the house on foot. Come.
Get them up, Scout.
Come on, Silver.
In the ranch house, the unsuspecting Hawk Slade busied himself formulating a new plan to bring Jeff Whitman to terms. His thought was broken by the closing of a door, and...
I seen him, Hawk. He'll keep. That's a right good place you picked out to hide him in.
You think anybody'd get the notion of looking for him in the root cellar?
Huh? Shucks, with all that canvas dropped over it, they wouldn't even know it was there.
Put him back like you found him, did you?
Sure.
Sit down. Sandy, I got an idea.
Yeah, what's that?
You give it to me when you told what Jeff said.
Huh?
You said he thought a heap of the kid.
Oh, sure he does. You could tell it.
Then we won't only boss this valley, but we'll have the whole thing to ourselves.
How?
We'll make it trade like Jeff and that Injun did for the masked man.
I ain't sure I savvy.
Brad, for Jeff's ranch.
Say.
What do you think?
Boss, it'd work. I know it'd work. Why, Jeff's place ain't worth any part of what it was before you come here. Thinking what he does of Brad, he'd give it up in a second if it was to save the kid's life. Well, Shucks, it wouldn't work after all.
Why not?
Then Brad'd be free to go to the law. With what he learned when he was working for you, ain't a one of us wouldn't swing.
What if he didn't go to the law?
He would, all right.
I guess I didn't make it plain enough. You see, what I really meant was to make Jeff trade his ranch for a promise to let Brad go.
For a... Oh, now I get it. And when Jeff's made over the place to you...
He can go whistle. I'll fix it so's he can't prove a thing.
Come on, Brad. Brad.
Well, what the...
Yell, Brad. That was Jeff. Hey, look there. That is Brad. Look at him riding for them woods.
But how would he do that?
You double-crossing coyote.
No.
Wanted to know where Brad was hid, did you? Wanted to have a look at him, huh? You polecat. You fixed it for Jeff to get him loose.
I didn't, Hawk. Honest, I didn't. Don't hit me again. Everything was all right when I left.
You're coming with me.
Oh, let go, Hawk. Let go.
Get outside there.
Hawk, please.
I sent you to Jeff's place last night. Right afterwards, the masked man comes busting in to spoil things.
Oh, wait.
Get along before I give you a boot in the pants to help you.
No.
And today you go out to see Brad. Now he's gone.
Hawk, I don't know anything about it. I swear. But honest, I don't know anything about it. Oh, don't.
Here's a canvas. You put them back like they was. Pull them aside.
What for, Hawk? If Brad's gone, what difference does it make? I
You'll
don't
do like I say.
I'll do it, Hawk. Don't hit me again. Don't hit me.
You see, Sandy?
Huh?
You're going where Brad was. You stand down there to think over what you get for double-crossing me.
Oh, Hawk, please, no.
Don't get up, Hawk.
The masked man and the Injun.
What?
That's right. Reach and keep reaching.
Why, you...
And thanks for showing us where Brad's hidden. Tonto, take those stones off the door and bring him out. Tonto, do it.
Too late again, masked man. That a habit with you?
Too late?
Told you was too late back at the cabin. Brad was gone. Well, he's left again. You'd had your eyes open, you'd have seen him ride off just about 3 minutes ago. He and Jeff. What in tarnation?
You low-down polecat. Take me prisoner, will you?
That'll be enough of that, Brad. You'll not deal with this fellow. The law will.
But
Don't hit him again.
Brad, you was in the root cellar all the time.
Sure he was, Hawk. The fellow you figured was Brad was Sam here, dressed to look like him.
Well, I'll be...
I tried to tell you I hadn't double-crossed you, Hawk, but you wouldn't listen. It's just what you get.
Save the talk for your trials. The crew, Jeff?
Got them barred inside their bunkhouse like pigs in a pen.
And they'll all face the law.
And with what I know about them skunks, they'll be lucky if every one of them don't hang.
You can handle these two, Jeff.
Handle them, mister. We sure can. Only you use the wrong word.
Yes?
We'll handle and manhandle the coyotes. Brad, give me some help here. We'll tie these critters up.
I sure will.
Look, Jeff, can't we talk this over? Can't we do
Sure we can, Hawk. But when we do, you'll say your piece from inside a cell.
Come on, Silver. Hit him up, Scout.
Hail, Silver! Away!
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.
Hunt the biggest of all game with the Green Hornet and Cato coming up next.
The Green Hornet. He hunts the biggest of all game, public enemies who try to destroy our America. Faithful valet Cato, Britt Reed, daring young publisher, matches wits with racketeers and saboteurs, risking his life that criminals and racketeers will feel the weight of the law by the sting of the Green Hornet. Ride with Britt Reed in the thrilling adventure, Cats with 9 Lives. The Green Hornet strikes again. As a loyal alumnus, Britt Reed attended the big game of the year and took Michael Axford with him.
Run your spotting! Leg it! That's the stuff! He's in the clear! He's going to make it! He's shot to the moon! He made it! Touchdown! Hey, the game is over. That's the word.
Come on, Axford. Let's get out ahead of the ball.
Suffering snakes. I never saw so many cars in one parking lot.
Well, it's some parking lot, Axford.
Hey, Fred! Why not, Fred?
Well, there's Len Forrester.
Hi, Len. Gosh, wasn't that a game?
Sure was. Well, how have you been, Lenny?
Haven't seen you since your father died.
I've been all right, Britt. Hey, we should get together once in a while.
Oh, pardon me, Lenny. This is Mike Axford. Axford, Lenny Forrester is a fraternity brother.
Glad to know you, Mr. Axford.
Sure as glad I am to make your acquaintance.
You've heard about Forrester, Axford, the son of Iron Jim.
Oh, so you're the lad that came into all that money a couple of years ago.
That's right.
Pardon me, I'm sorry to crowd you.
It's all right. Say, Britt, a lot of traffic here. Are you going to the grill tonight?
No, I can't make it, Lenny.
Oh, I wish you could. All the old gang will be there.
Well, I'd like to, but I've got a job to take care of. Drop in at the office when you get a chance. We'll rehash old times. Or phone and we'll have lunch together.
I'll do that.
Hey, Lenny, you coming? Be right with you.
Pardon if I seem to crowd. Why don't you shove on? All right. I'll drop in, Britt.
I'll be looking for you.
In a day or so.
Our car's over here, Axford.
Hey, he's a nice-looking young fella.
Oh, swell guy.
Why ain't you going to that grill or whatever it is?
It'll be too much of a party. I don't feel quite up to it.
Hey, that guy that called to him. You see him?
Yes? What about him?
He ain't one of your frat brothers, is he?
No.
Well, I didn't think so. That guy's no good.
Do you know him?
Yeah, his name is Minton. Shady Minton, we used to know him as.
Oh, Shady Minton, eh?
My golly, that lug has been investigated by the cops more times than you can shake a stick at. There's been a lot of confidence games and things.
Strange company for Lenny Forrester.
Yeah. I wonder where he picked up with a guy like that.
Axford Lenny is probably wondering the same thing about you.
Oh, is that so now? Well, Reed, I'll tell you this much. If Lenny goes to that blowout tonight and has Minton along with him, he better watch his step. If he gets too much to drink, Minton will take the gold out of his teeth.
Hey, Mint, how's your playmate? Just off a highball. There's stuff in it, Waddles. It'll hit him any minute now. Good. I'll be waiting near the door. I'll pick you up on the way out. I better get over to Forrester. It looks as if he's about to pass out.
Did you see him go around the end there?
What's the matter, Lenny?
I don't know, Minton. I feel lightheaded.
Yeah, the drink you had.
Just wondering.
Well, maybe it's a smoke.
Might be. It's terribly smoky tonight. I better get out. Fresh air.
It's a good idea. Come on, I'll take you out.
You needn't leave.
Oh, I've had enough of this place anyhow. Here, I'll leave this to cover our check. Come on, Lenny.
Dizzy.
Let me help you.
I guess I need it.
This way. You lean on me.
Hi, Lenny. One too many?
Oh, don't pay any attention to him.
Look at Lenny Forrester. Don't like this.
Here's the check room. Give me your hat check,
Here, somewhere.
Hello, Minton. Oh, what's happened to your friend? Oh, hello, Waddles. Stick with me. I may need some help.
Here, check. Hat check.
Here, baby. Get Mr. Forrester's hat and coat.
Didn't take him long.
Lay off the crack, sister. Mr. Forrester don't like him.
Hat, coat.
Here you are, sir. Shall I help him with them?
Don't bother. You carry the hat and coat, Waddles.
Yeah, sure thing.
This way, Lenny. Right outside. You'll feel better when the air hits you.
Mr. Forrester's car.
Steady now. They're bringing your car around.
Hello, Minton. Leaving early?
Carl Bradford. Hello. I'm taking my friend Len Forrester home. He's ill.
Oh, what a shame.
Well, Len, this Carl Bradford, the attorney. Good friend of mine.
How do you do?
Here's your car, sir.
Thank you. Here you are.
Thank you.
Len's hardly in condition to drive a car, but he insists on it.
Rather risky driving my condition. You know how the law is about drunken drivers.
Well, here's the car, Len. See you later, Bradford.
Yes, yes.
I don't feel you'll be all right, Len. Driving will clear your head. There now, and you go. Come on, Waddles.
Right. Wouldn't you?
Driver. Easy. You'll be better for driving. Go ahead now. How is he, Minton? Just about out. He got the wheel shoe. Everything's just swell. Here, I'll pull over the curb and stop. Yeah, he's out cold now. I'll drive. Great. Everyone saw him take the wheel when he left the grill. It's working slick, including Carl Bradford, the attorney. Oh, what could be sweeter? Did you know he'd be on hand? No, that was just a lucky break. Slide him over here and take the wheel. Yeah. Over you come. Come on. There. I got it. There now. Tumbler will be on hand, won't he? Right. Cat says his orders. So has Doc. Okay. And there's sure to be witnesses on that corner. Hey, look at that car coming. Zigzagging from one side to the other.
Another one of those college guys.
Yeah, they ought to be jailed.
Look out, he's going to turn. Get the number, they ain't stopping.
And then for bed.
I went right over the curb. Get a doctor.
Get run, driver.
Let me through there. Let me through. I'm the doctor. Some of you kick the car back. Get this man here.
Let the doctor see him.
It was perfect, Cat. How'd I do, Don? Great. Now we'll get you out of here and make you look seriously injured. Just remember to insist that I take care of you.
On Monday, Michael Axford perched on the edge of Miss Case's desk while he tried to tell Britt Reed's preoccupied secretary about the football game.
The guy's just about to get knocked for a goal by a couple of red-shirted guys, and then he fools them. He throws that pigskin... Katie, are you following me?
Hit and run.
Hit and run, me eye. I'm trying to tell you about football. That's baseball.
It's murder in some cases. Michael, do you want to do me a $1 million favor with trimmings on it?
Huh?
Sit down and be quiet for a few minutes.
Well, now, that's
I'm
a
trying
fine...
to whip up an editorial for Mr. Reed. Did you see this morning's story in the Sentinel?
What about?
Hit and run drivers. The Sentinel's starting a campaign for stiffer penalties when they're caught. Say, do you have any ideas?
By golly, there's something they should get what they are.
What was that?
Stiffer penalties when they're caught. That's what them hit-and-run guys would get. What are you writing?
Gunnigan had an editorial in the last edition. Mr. Reed wants a stronger one of the next.
What's that got to do with you?
Well, Mr. Reed told Gunnigan he'd show him exactly what he meant.
Good for thee. That's the stuff.
Yes, but then he turned and he said to me, write it. Then he went to luncheon at the Civic Club. That was 3 hours ago.
And he ain't back yet?
No.
Did he have a date to meet someone there?
Yes, a fraternity brother of his, Len Forrester, phoned and made an appointment.
Oh, golly, that's it.
Well, that's what?
That's the day shot. Them two are old pals. If Reed was to meet Foster for lunch, the chances are it'll wind up at dinner time. I could just see the two of them sitting in that swell dining room.
I saw that article in your paper, Hit and Run. I thought I'd call you for some unbiased advice.
When did you hit this man, Lenny?
Last Saturday night, on the way home from the grill.
And you didn't even stop the car?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember anything at all. All I know is what I was told.
Well, when did you learn about it?
Last evening. You see, there happened to be a doctor who saw the accident. He got my license number. He treated this man and then took him home. He called me last night.
The doctor did?
Yes, Dr. Hill. Here's his card. I called Minton right away, and he confirmed what the doctor had said. Minton said that a man named Wattles had been in the car with us.
Have you talked to an attorney?
Yes, Minton called a lawyer named Bradford. We'd seen him at the grill. Do you know Carl Bradford?
I know who he is. He's a good counsel.
Well, we went to call on Cat. That's the man I struck. He's in terrible shape, probably crippled for life.
And you didn't report the accident at all?
No.
Hit and run, driving while drunk.
Oh, Brett,
Another thing, Len. Your record in traffic court's not too good.
Don't I know it? I've got a string of speeding convictions as long as your arm. If this ever goes into court, I'll get a jail sentence.
Well, Lenny...
Brett, I swear I wasn't drunk. I don't remember a thing that happened, but I had taken just one highball.
Did you report it to the insurance company?
Good Lord, no, I can't. That would mean that the police would know.
What did Bradford advise you to do?
Report it to the police and take the rap. But I can't. I know I'm not guilty.
Guilty or not, there's a strong case against you. Witnesses and all.
I know it.
Did Dr. Hill take Cass to a hospital?
He said that Katz insisted on going home, so he took him there.
And where does Katz live?
In a cottage at 310 Elm Street.
Was he conscious?
Oh, yes, I talked to him. He said he was willing to keep things quiet if I paid for the injuries.
So you paid?
$10,000. Lenny, oh, what else could I do? Britt, do you think that'll be the end of it?
Well, I'm afraid, Lenny, you'll have to ask Katz. Oh, now I have to get back to my office.
Must you go?
Yes. I've got to write an editorial.
You?
Yes. We're conducting a campaign, you see. Trying to get the courts to hand out stiffer jolts to hit-run drivers.
Here's Reed now.
Oh, Mr. Reed, I have that editorial ready. The one you wrote.
Send it to Gunninger, will you, Miss Case? I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon getting acquainted with the morgue.
Where the cadavers are?
No, expert. The morgue of the Daily Sentinel. That evening, Cato, the trusted Filipino valet, came into Britt Reed's bedroom.
Well, Mr. Britt, you said to let you know when Mr. Axford went out.
Has he gone to police headquarters again, Cato?
Yes, sir.
Cato, I learned quite a bit when I dug into the old files at the office.
Yes?
Minton has a pretty bad record. Dr. Hill's is worse.
It is?
If the Medical Association could prove charges of fee-splitting and quackery against him, he'd be out of the association. There seems to me to be too much coincidence about Len Forrester's trouble.
Coincidence?
Dr. Hill on hand when the accident occurred. Len going stiff on one drink. Minton just happening to meet Wattles.
What are you going to do, Mr. Britt?
I'm going to call on this injured man named Katz. I have a few ideas of my own.
Let's break from the Green Hornet. More after this. Now let's get back to the Green Hornet.
Now back to our story. Britt Reed's investigation of the individuals involved led him to suspect that his friend Len Forrester was the victim of a carefully planned blackmail scheme. With Cato, the young publisher sat in his bedroom, laying the groundwork for the evening's activity. Put fresh charges in that gas weapon, Cato.
I'm doing so, Mr. Britt.
And get out the rest of the stuff I'll need. There's a list there on the desk.
Very well.
I'm going to confirm one suspicion by phone.
Hello?
Hello, Doc Hill.
Yes?
Have you heard from Minton today?
Who's calling?
Skip that. Just answer the question.
I haven't heard from him.
You'd better be at Katz's place at 9 tonight.
Why?
I don't know what Minton has in mind. Just be there, that's all. Suspicion confirmed, Cato. He knows Minton pretty well.
Do you think he will be at Cat's place?
I'm going to count on it. That stuff ready?
Weapon, mask, and other things are ready.
Come on, then. It's time for the Green Hornet to move. Stepping through a secret panel in the rear of a closet in his bedroom, Britt Reed and Cato went along a narrow passageway built within the walls of the apartment itself. This led to an adjoining building which fronted on a dark side street. Though supposedly abandoned, this building served as the hiding place for the sleek, super-powered Black Beauty, streamlined car of the Green Hornet. Cato, I just had another idea.
Is funny to you, Mr. Britt?
You said Axford was at headquarters.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'll take a page one story to him in person. We'll need the convertible as well as the Black Beauty.
The two cars?
You take the convertible. Park a little away from the front of Katz's house, and when you see the lights blink, start the car and drive into the side entrance. Is that clear?
Oh, yes, sir.
We'll get going. Britt Reed pressed a button. The great car roared into life. A section of the wall in front raised automatically, then closed as the gleaming Black Beauty sped into the darkness.
Who is it? Wait a minute. What are you doing here tonight, Doc? Did you hear from Minton or Wattles? Not today. Why? They sent me word to be here. That's funny. I didn't hear nothing from them. How do you feel, Tumbler? Punk. Look at me. I got some real bruises when I jumped in front of that guy's car. I ought to get a bigger cut. There ain't many guys can take a fall like I can. You'll have cash to spend long after the bruises are forgotten. How long I got to stay in the house and play like I'm crippled to see how young Forrester takes it? Minton is going to try to shake him down for another 10,000.
Hello, Doc.
You, that mask. It's the Green Hornet. How'd you get in here?
Pick the lock on the back door. You should be in bed, shouldn't you, Minton?
What are you doing here?
Doc and I have business to talk over. Heard from Minton yet, Doc?
No. What's the idea of you busting in
Take it
here?
easy. I'm showing the boys how to get into the big dough.
Big dough?
Sure. Hattie can get about $100,000 out of Forrester.
Who's Hattie?
Your widow.
What?
You see, Doc, the fellow Forrester struck died from the injury.
Now, wait a minute.
Shut up, Katz. You've got nothing to say about it.
But
You'll have to go to work on this guy so it'll look convincing when the police medical examiner goes over him.
The police medical examiner? Hey, I ain't going to go
Are you going to shut up or must I shut you up?
You mean he's really to die?
Of course he has to die. We've got to have a corpse to show Forrester.
Like fun. Now, hold on. I didn't agree to get mixed up in murder.
You're mixed up in it now, Doc, and there's only one way out.
Well, you can't do this. It's murder. It's
I'll put
murder.
you to sleep with this gas weapon. You won't feel anything.
No, stop. Stop. I won't stand for this. He got me.
Doc, you better have some, too.
No.
Yes, Dr. Hill. That's just the beginning, you rats.
The Green Hornet quickly cut the phone wire, then drew out a case containing a charged hypodermic needle. He shot a colorless fluid into the arm of Tumbler Katz to counteract the effect of the gas. And that'll bring him around in a couple of minutes. Brett Reed switched the lights off and on to signal Cato, who watched from a short distance away. Cato then drove the convertible to the side door of the house. Brett was there waiting. He quickly changed to a different hat and coat. He gave Cato the mask of the Green Hornet. The Black Beauty's over there in the alley. Go and stay with it, Cato, until I return.
Yes, sir.
In the meantime, Tumbler Katz recovered consciousness. He remembered the Green Hornet's plan to kill him. Then he saw the doctor sprawled on the floor. Wide-eyed with fear, he leaped to his feet and rushed to the door. There was a convertible coupe in the driveway. A well-dressed man was walking toward him.
Hello there. I'm looking for a man named Katz.
Well, I can't talk now. I gotta hurry.
Hold on, you're all bandaged up.
Let go my arm.
Is your name Katz?
What of it? Let me go.
I thought you were badly hurt.
Oh, please let me go. I don't want to die.
I expected to find you a lot nearer death than this.
No.
My friend Forrester said you were badly hurt. I came to talk to you.
Well, tell him it's the bunk. I gotta get to the cops. Let me go before the Hornet comes back.
The Hornet?
He's gonna kill me, I tell you. I gotta get the cops.
Great Scott, get into my car. What? I'll take you to police headquarters in record time. Here's police headquarters, Katz. That's Sergeant Berg at the desk. The man with him is from my newspaper.
Something snakes. It's Britt Reed.
Who's the guy with all the bandages?
Axford, I brought a story to you.
You've got to help me. You've got to save me.
Reed, who's this?
His name is Katz, Tumbler Katz. It's a long story, Axford. You see, my friend Forrester got into something of a jam. I was going to call on this man Katz when he rushed from the house.
It's the Hornet.
Suffering snakes, the Hornet.
He's got in with Mitten and Waddles. He's going to kill me.
What's that about Mitten?
You can get the facts, Axford. I'm going over to Forrester's house.
The Hornet's around somewhere. I got conscious and seen the doc on the floor, and I ran out.
I'll hold everything. Let's get these facts straight.
Reed, stick around. This might be good.
Len Forrester will be waiting for me, Axford. Phone me there if you've got anything sensational.
Britt strolled out of the police headquarters, but once in the street, he moved fast. In his convertible, he hurried to the nearest drugstore and dialed the number of Mitten's home.
Mitten, get this the first time and get it straight. I can't repeat. Doc wants you to know that the Green Hornet's tried to muscle in. Katz got scared and ran to the cops. He's spilling the works about you. Get ready to land.
A short while later, Britt brought the convertible to a stop a few yards from where he'd parked the Black Beauty in a dark alley.
Mr. Britt, is everything all right?
It is so far, but time's precious. Take this coat, man.
Yes, sir.
The other outfit. The outfit I wear with a mask.
Right here. I hold coat for you.
Cato, here are the plans for the rest of the night. We're going from here to Mitten's house. Listen.
Still no answer at Doc's house?
No. No answer.
What do you make of it, Mitten?
Waddles, I don't know what to make of it.
No idea who it was that phoned with the warning about the Green Hornet?
Wasn't a voice I'd ever heard before.
Would you know it if you heard it again?
No, I don't think so.
I don't like the way things stack up. Try Katz again. Maybe Doc's over there.
It's no use, but I'll try it.
Told you it was out of order the last time, didn't I?
Yeah.
What number are you calling?
Same as before. University 3628.
I'm sorry, sir. That line is out of order.
Nuts. Now what? Waddles? I'm taking no chances. We'll be ready to scram if the cops show up.
Think that'd be smart?
Smarter than answer a lot of questions if Tumbler Katz tells all he knows. Here,
Open this briefcase. Got everything ready to move fast? Goes right here in the desk. 10 grand. Good thing we hadn't split with Doc and Cat. Yeah. Now give me the bag. I'll put the cash in just in case. Yeah. Now, the first sign of the cops, we clear out. Hey, car stopped out front. Let me see. It's a scout car. Uh-oh, that's our cue to move. Come on. Sure we can get out the back way? Maybe they got that watch. Nah, they won't have. This way, Bottles. Cops at the door. The time they get in, we'll be gone. The car's in the garage at the corner. We'll take it and scoot. Here's the door.
Going somewhere?
The Hornet, the Green Hornet.
I'll take that briefcase. In exchange, I'll give
you... No, don't kill us.
Fool, the cops are out front.
Oh! The Hornet!
Take it, you fathead. You can stay away from the cops. I've got places to go.
No, don't shoot me.
Just gas to put you asleep. No. I'll wake up in the arms of the law. So long, rats.
Hey, look what's here on the ground. Hey, that's Minton. He's out cold. It's the work of the Hornet.
That Green Hornet must be around here.
We gotta find him. Spread out and search the place.
While Axford and the police milled around the house, Britt Reed stood next to the Black Beauty in a dark alley nearby. He handed Cato the mask for the second time that evening. Get into the Black Beauty, Cato. Open her wide and let the police and Axford know the Green Hornet's car is on the run. Britt walked down the alley to his convertible. Then he heard the well-known sound of the Black Beauty.
There he goes, the Green Hornet. Get that car. Get after it. There is the car.
Britt smiled in the darkness as the police took after Cato. He knew that the Black Beauty was already out of reach. He waited until the last of the police cars had left. Then he stepped into his convertible. Britt was no longer the Green Hornet. He was just Britt Reed, driving to call on his friend Len Forrester.
Reed, holy cow, I've been waiting here in the apartment for you to come home. Have I got news?
I told you it'd be Len Forrester's, Axford. Did you call there?
Yeah, but you'd already left.
Did that phony accident victim squeal?
Did he squeal? Oh, golly, he spilled everything about a game his gang was working on your friend Forrester. I told you that guy Minton was no good.
Yes, you told me.
We got the crooked doctor and Minton and the guy with Minton.
Len Forrester told me he paid those crooks $10,000. Did you recover that?
Reed, I was that close to getting it. Only the Hornet got there first. Minton said he had the dough in a briefcase, and the Green Hornet got away with it.
Well, Forrester deserves to lose it. He's a pretty reckless driver. Perhaps this will be a lesson to him.
Yeah. If only someone worthwhile got the dough instead of that Green Hornet.
Well, tell me the details in the morning, Axford. I'm tired. I guess I'll turn.
Go ahead. Cato's in there. Turn your bed down.
Good night, Axford.
Good night, you Reed.
The bed is ready, Mr. Britt.
Cato, where's the 10,000?
In Black Beauty.
In the morning, we must see to it. It goes to that home for crippled children. Open the window, will you, Cato?
Oh, yes, Mr. Britt.
That's my lullaby. Well, good night, Cato.
Crime doesn't stand a chance against Dick Tracy. Up next.
And now, Dick Tracy!
This is Dick Tracy on the case of the careless Black Widow. Stand by for action. Let's go, men! Yes, it's Dick Tracy, protector of law and order.
Boys and girls, did you know that when the pioneers first went into the West, they were easy prey for the Indians if a fight came up? Well, they were, and here's why. The only guns they had were single-shot muzzle-loading pistols or muskets, while the Indian had his bow and a quiver of arrows in his back, and therefore if a company of pioneer horsemen met up with a band of mounted Indians, they were at a hopeless disadvantage. for while riding and trying to load their single-shot guns, the Indians could loose whole clouds of firing as many as 7 or 8 arrows for every single shot returned to them. Well, then came the single invention which changed all of this and gave lasting fighting superiority to the Pioneer. It was the six-shooter, the familiar pistol still in use, which held 6 bullets in a revolving chamber, which did not have to be reloaded until all 6 shots had been fired. When at last the frontiersmen could shoot quicker and further than the Indians and could reload while riding at full speed, which was impossible before. And so it was that another small invention gave protection to our pioneers and made their advance into the West possible. And now, Dick Tracy. You remember that Tracy's quick thinking in giving Doris Corus a hypodermic of anti-black widow spider serum undoubtedly saved her life, but unfortunately, at the moment, she is too sick to be questioned as to the identity of the person who blew the poison dart into her neck. However, yesterday, Tracy and Patton found out that the murderer must have shot 2 of his victims from the iron catwalk that connected with the flyloft above the stage. They also discovered that the flyloft had a fire door at one end, which led into the front part of the theater, and this was how the killer must have escaped. At the conclusion of their investigation in the theater, Dick and Pat went to Buck Silver's apartment and told him what had happened to Doris Corus. They're at Buck's apartment now.
Believe me, Mr. Tracy, I sure am upset at this attempt on Doris Corus' life.
Well, so are we all, Mr. Silver.
Was this the same as the others?
Yes. The girl was hit on the back of the neck by a dart poisoned with black widow spider venom.
Well, the whole thing seems unbelievable. This is the 3rd time the killer is struck.
Not to mention a few pot shots taken at Dick and me.
3 victims. And you still haven't any idea who the murderer is.
Well, Mr. Silver, we're dealing with a person who is both smart and ruthless.
And if you'll forgive me saying so, he seems to be a good deal smarter than the police.
Any criminal seems smarter than the police until he's caught.
If you have any suspects, why don't you put them in prison and stop this wave of killing that's been running through the theater?
Well, nothing would give me more satisfaction, Mr. Silver.
In this country, it's not customary to slap people in the pokey unless you have some evidence against them.
Well, who do you suspect?
Well, at the moment, I'd prefer not to answer that question.
All right, then, tell me this. Am I still on your list of suspects?
Well, until a case is actually solved, Mr. Silver, I suspect practically everybody but Patton here.
And you know, Mr. Silver, I think sometimes he even suspects me.
But as I told you before, I'd have no motive for committing these murders.
Possibly the first murder, but certainly not the second. However, I think it highly improbable that you are involved in any of these crimes.
Well, thanks for the feeble vote of confidence.
You're welcome, Mr. Silver. Now, there's one thing, though, that I can't impress on you too strongly. I don't want anyone to know about this attempt on Doris Corus' life, but her absence should be explained to the company.
Well, I'll take care of that right away, Mr. Tracy. I'll phone my stage manager and give him instructions.
Good.
Harry should be in by now. If he's not, I may not be able to get word to the cast in time.
Well, I hope you can.
Well, hello, Harry. This is Buck Silver. Now, Harry, listen. I just received word that Doris Corus is going to be out of the lineup for a few days. No, it's nothing serious. The doctor says she has a touch of the flu, but she'll be all right in a few days. Yeah, that's all, Harry. Goodbye. Did I sound unconcerned, Mr. Tracy?
You were fine. You see, Mr. Silver, as long as the murderer is in ignorance of how much or how little we know, we're in a much better spot to apprehend him.
Oh, I understand, Mr. Tracy. You say that Doris Corus was on stage after the show when she is struck with a dart.
Yes, that's right. And in the same place that Give and Take was when he was murdered. And the doorman swears that with the exception of Doris, every member of that cast had left the theater before Doris screamed.
Then the killer isn't one of the people in our show.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Silver, I believe the killer is someone in your show.
I give up.
Well, I suggest you let Pat and me worry about straightening out this mess.
I'd like to, Mr. Tracy. But I can't help but feel that since I'm responsible for this show, I'm in a way responsible for the tragedies that have taken place. And the longer I keep the show open, the more danger that I'm making for the people in the company. I'm going to close it.
But, Mr. Silver, that's just what the murderer wants.
But if I keep it open, I may be needlessly risking people's lives.
Now, look, but...
Who's that?
Good morning, Buck.
Good morning. Won't you come in? This is a surprise. This is my ex-fiancée, Miss Vocal Cord.
Yes, Miss Cord and I are old friends.
Buck, I came over to talk to you about that stupid meeting that the company had to force you to move into another theater. I just wanted to tell you that I don't think you ought to move just because Time Step got all those crazy people steamed up.
Well, you needn't worry. I'm not going to move the show.
Good for you, Buck.
Nope, I'm not going to move the show. I'm going to close it.
Oh, no, Buck.
Oh, yes, Buck.
But every cent you own is tied up in the show, and it's a big hit.
What do you care about my money? You're the one who broke our engagement.
Stop talking like that, Buck.
Mr. Silver, there's no legal way that I can prevent you from closing this show. But if you do, I'll be a great deal more than just annoyed.
I'm from Texas, Mr. Tracy. And down there we have a habit of doing what we feel like doing. I'm closing the show so that no more accidents take place.
I'm holding my temper with a great deal of difficulty, Mr. Silver. But I make one last plea. Keep the show open so that we can bring this criminal to justice.
You'll be putting a lot of people out of work, and that isn't fair. Jobs in hit shows are hard to find.
If you'll just keep the show open, Mr. Patton and I will guarantee that there'll be no more accidents.
Oh, please don't close it, Buck. Please. Please.
All right. I guess I was just being kind of stubborn. I'll keep the show open if you think it's the right move.
Certainly do, and good for you, Mr. Silver. All right, Patrick, come on. We've got a lot of work to do.
Okie doke.
Goodbye, folks.
Goodbye, Mr. Tracy.
I still don't understand why, after busting our engagement, you keep worrying so much about what's going to happen to me.
Well, can't you see, Buck? I'm just as fond of you as I've always been. It's just that I didn't think we'd be happy together. The theater's in my blood, and even after I married, I'd want to keep up my career. And all you want is to settle down on your ranch. I just know we couldn't make a go of it. That's why I wouldn't give you your pearls back for a couple of days. I wanted to make you mad at me so that you could forget me more easily. But I did bring the pearls to the theater opening night of the show, Buck, to give to you. And then they were stolen, and all those awful things began to happen.
Oh, I know you had nothing to do with the pearls being stolen, Vocal. But look, if going on with your career is the only thing that you're worried about, well, stop worrying. I'm not going back to my ranch. I like show business. What's wrong with us both having a career in the theater?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it, Buck.
Then what do you say we get re-engaged?
Oh, let's, Buck. Let's.
Well, this sure has been quite a morning.
Yes, it has. I think it's the nicest morning I've ever known.
Oh, for the life of me, Dick, I can't see why I always have to drive the car.
Because you do it so very well, Mr. Patton.
Boy, that Buck Silver is certainly a hard guy to convince.
Yeah, he sure is, Pat.
It was a lucky coincidence for us that Vocal Cord came in to talk to him as she did. Without that feminine touch, I don't think Buck would have consented to keep the show open. And if he'd closed it, we would have been in a fix.
Well, that's right, Pat, but why'd you call Vocal Cord's arrival a lucky coincidence?
Well, wasn't it?
Not at all. I called her up earlier this morning and told her to come over to Buck Silver's apartment. And he wanted to talk to her about moving the show. I was afraid that when we told Buck about the attempt on Doris Corus's life, he might get stubborn on us, close the show, and go chasing off to Texas. But with Vocal in there pulling over our side, we've turned the trick.
My Uncle Richard. Aren't you the sly little rascal, though?
Well, it's been pretty apparent that Buck and Vocal are really crazy about each other. All they needed was some third person to break the ice and get them together again. And I would be surprised if they were getting themselves kind of re-engaged right now.
You're not only an old conniver, but you're Cupid, too. You get it? We're digging today. Sometimes, Dick, I don't know how you do it.
Just call me the little matchmaker, Patrick, and let her go, Dan. I think that's the theater up ahead, Dan. Better slow down.
I hear, O master, and obey.
Come on, Patton. Let's get up.
Right. Let me take your hand. Well, what are we going to do now? Climb fire escapes?
That's exactly right.
You know, there are plenty of easy ways to get into this theater. Why do we have to climb up the fire escape?
Because I hope to find a piece of wood.
A piece of wood. Well, that, of course, explains everything. Come on, let's go. Oh, this is the most exhausting case we've ever been on.
Exhausting? What do you mean?
Well, it seems to me we've done nothing but climb up and down ladders or prowl around on the roofs of very tall buildings.
Maybe you'd rather be back on that submarine, huh?
Thanks a lot. I'll stick with the ladders.
Well, let me see. I think this must be the exit door from the theater balcony, Pat.
Oh, yeah. And this is where the murderer got out after he tried to kill Doris Corus.
This is where he got in and out, Patrick. The doorman told us that before Doris was attacked, all members of the company had left the theater. Now, therefore, the murderer must have doubled back through here to commit his crime.
Yeah, but these extra doors are open from the inside, but always locked from the outside. How did he get in?
Well, that's what we've got to find out, Pat. Let me see. The murderer probably propped the door open from the inside before he left the theater. But we were on the stage when he tried to kill Doris, which forced him to make a quick getaway, and he didn't have time to cover his traces.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess he didn't. Hey, wait a minute. What's that funny-looking thing?
Patrick, that's it. That's what he must have used to prop the door open with.
Hey, wait a minute. Be careful picking it up, Dick. It might have fingerprints on it.
I'm wrapping it in my handkerchief.
It's a funny-looking thing. What is it?
It's an aluminum tap, Pat. Dancers use them on their shoes.
In a moment, we'll return to Dick Tracy. But first... Oh, Tracy fans, did you ever watch a baby when it gets new toys? Seems as though it'll start to play with them, but in most cases, by the end of the day, you'll find the baby back with its old favorites. The new toys all but forgotten. Well, in time, the new toys become favorites, though. The same way with music. Symphonic orchestras play the old masters, Beethoven, Mozart, Brahms, and only occasionally the music of the present-day composers. Now, Dr. Serge Koussevitzky, the conductor of the Boston Symphony Orchestra, realizes that this isn't very fair to modern composers. After all, why should great artists wait until they're old or in their graves before they're recognized? And so the Boston Symphony Orchestra makes it a practice to play the finest modern music as well as the older classics. So, boys and girls, if you want to hear the best of fine music by both new and old composers, listen to the Boston Symphony Orchestra, called by experts the finest orchestra in the world. The Boston Symphony is on the air tonight over most of these ABC stations. Now back to Dick Tracy.
Well, Dick, how many people are there in that show that would use these aluminum taps?
Well, the tap is large enough so that it could only fit on a man's shoe, Pat. And there are 8 men dancers in the ensemble.
And there's also a little bundle of joy called Time Step.
Well, it looks as if Tracy and Patton are getting close. This may be the vital clue that they need. Tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, for the adventures of Dick Tracy. This is George Gunn speaking. Here's some good news for you boys and girls who like exciting adventure stories. We have a brand new adventure show, Sky King, a daring two-fisted series about the thrilling exploits of Schuyler King, an ex-Naval Air Forces officer who has just returned to his ranch home after 4 years of service in the Pacific. Yes, but wherever there's injustice in the world, you'll find Sky King, a man whose bravery and virtue make him all that's fine in an American. Remember, for suspense and thrills, for hair-raising adventure, join Sky King when he's heard weekdays, Mondays through Fridays, over most of these ABC stations. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company. American Broadcasting Company. American Broadcasting Company. American Broadcasting Company.
One of old-time radio's longest-running and most popular programs, CBS Mystery Theater, is up next.
WDAF, Kansas City.
Dan Henry, WDAF Local News at 11. The outlook mild, but a chance for showers. Within the hour, the Black Angus restaurant was held up by 4 men, all of them armed, at 6015 Troost. Police are looking for them. Operation Barrier was placed in effect in an attempt to apprehend 3 or 4 young men who held up the McDonald's restaurant at 28th and Prospect earlier. St. Joseph's Hospital reports 1 person in critical condition tonight, the victim of a street shooting earlier at 3005 East 31st. Police have a pickup order for a known suspect in that case. It's been a day of violence in Kansas City. Police are close to solution in some of the cases. A 15-year-old boy was turned over to juvenile authorities this evening, arrested as suspect in the shooting death of 18-year-old William McCon, shot down on the street at 63rd and College this afternoon. Kansas City, Kansas police have a 30-year-old resident of that city in custody being questioned by detectives and the district attorney in connection with the death of 34-year-old Jerome Halloran. His gangland-style killing discovered this morning when his body was found under the 7th Street Bridge. His killing was witnessed, however, evidently taking place in another part of the city. There was a shooting later in the day at 27th and Prospect, and police say they have several suspects in custody in relation to that incident. 2 men were shot, but hospital authorities say their wounds do not appear to be serious. There will be no school tomorrow, as announced by Superintendent of Schools Dr. Robert Metcalf. And the reports on the 2-alarm fire in the 200 block of West 12th this evening have been filed, listing arson as the suspected cause. The fire department says it took 11 pieces of firefighting equipment, about 20 minutes to bring the blaze under control.
News of the hour on the hour from American Information Radio. This is Richard Wall from Los Angeles, and at this hour, another subpoena has arrived at the White House, this one for tapes and documents relating to 64 more conversations by President Nixon and aides. Federal Judge John Sirica signed the subpoena at the request of Watergate prosecutor Leon Jaworski. In Washington, correspondent Vic Ratner has details on the material demanded.
The tapes Jaworski has asked for cover a period of almost a year, from the time of the original Watergate break-in in June 1972 to 2 conversations with former White House Chief of Staff H.R. Haldeman in June of 1973. Prosecutor Jaworski says all the subpoenaed recordings are necessary and relevant to the Watergate cover-up trial this fall. Jaworski expects the president to fight the subpoena in the courts. The last legal battle over White House tapes took 4 months. Jaworski wants this one resolved in time for the cover-up trial to go ahead on schedule September 9th. Vic Ratner, ABC News, Washington.
House Judiciary Committee Chairman Peter Rodino says White House failure to comply fully with the subpoena for tapes for the impeachment inquiry could be grounds for impeachment itself. Rodino says edited transcripts will not be adequate. Criticism of Operation Zebra. That story coming up.
What happens when your personal battle suddenly changes from this to this?
Well, I realize you've spent the past 3 years on assignment in Asia, sir, but we just don't have any jobs right now that need that kind of training. Now, if you only had a diploma.
Or this.
Oh, what a mess. You must have gone 3 years without seeing a dentist. You have to do a root canal here and fill these 3.
If you are a recent veteran, there are people just waiting to help you cope with the battles of civilian life. They are the representatives of your American Red Cross. Did you know that you are entitled to free VA dental care during your first year out of the service? Do you know what programs are available to help you complete your education or to find a better job? For more information about these and other problems of civilian life, call your local Red Cross chapter. Let the American Red Cross help with your personal battle.
An official of the American Civil Liberties Union says the stop and search policy by San Francisco police in the hunt for the zebra killers is a racist outrage. Police are searching blacks who fit the description of a gunman believed to be part of the group that's killed 12 whites in San Francisco. The head of the American Bar Association, Chesterfield Smith, says it may be impossible to prosecute Patricia Hearst in connection with Monday's bank robbery because of Attorney General William Saxby's description of her as a common criminal. Ms. Hearst's parents have also criticized Saxby, and FBI Director Clarence Kelly says the FBI investigation is based on the premise that Patricia was under pressure or coercion by her kidnappers at the time of the robbery. The drop in U.S. economic growth for the first 3 months of this year is bigger than government economists had predicted. The gross national product declined 5.8%. The inflation rate was 10.8%. Egypt's President Anwar Sadat says the Soviets have been slow in responding to his request for military aid, and Sadat says Egypt has therefore gone to other sources. We asked ABC's John Cooley in Beirut about the significance of Sadat's statement.
This is a very important development. Egypt has been getting its arms exclusively from the Soviet Union ever since President Nasser started that policy back in 1955. And Sadat is now saying he will no longer rely on the Soviets, that they have not sent arms and have not answered his queries, and that he will get arms from other sources, which could only mean, of course, Western countries.
That's correspondent John Cooley in Beirut. A foreign ministry spokesman in Tokyo, according to Reuters News Service, has announced that Japan and China will sign a civil aviation agreement in Peking tomorrow. This is Information Radio News.
From the Kurt Mears Sports Desk, the Kansas City Royals, hoping for a better-running Big Blue bus in Chicago than in Texas, meet the Chicago White Sox in a 3-game series beginning tomorrow. Veteran Betsy Cullen and French-Canadian Jocelyn Barossa share the first-round lead in the Dinah Shore Winner's Circle Open Golf Tournament. Forrest Fessler has a 5-under par 66 for a one-stroke lead in the first round of the Monsanto Open Golf Tournament in Florida. And Bruce Jenner, a former Graceland College athlete, won the decathlon competition at the Kansas Relays in Lawrence today. The Kansas City forecast partly cloudy with a chance for showers or thunder showers through tomorrow. The low tonight in the low 50s, at top tomorrow in the middle to upper 70s. Dan Henry, WDAF News.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to the terrifying world of your own imagination. One day, a young man named Otis Manley Carter stood before a great work of art in the Metropolitan Museum in New York. It was a portrait so beautiful that it brought tears to his eyes. And Otis Manley Carter whispered, "I would give my soul to be able to paint like that." It was an idle remark, spoken without thinking, on the spur of the moment. How was Otis Manley Carter to know that someone might be listening?
Where'd you learn how to paint, Otis?
At the Fine Arts Institute.
No. I spoke to Professor DeMarco. They flunked you. You didn't show him any ability at all. Where'd you learn how to paint?
Oh, come on, Bert. I was born with it. It just comes naturally. I've been painting all my life.
But you're over 30. How come there are no paintings of yours more than 2 or 3 years old? Where did you learn how to paint, Otis?
Bert, well, what are you driving at?
Answer this, Otis. How come all the people whose pictures you painted are dead?
Well, I don't
Where'd you learn how to paint, Otis?
Our mystery drama, A Portrait of Death, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Nat Polen. It is sponsored in part by the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal, and by new sugar-free Diet 7-Up. I'll be back shortly with Act 1.
Some beer drinkers have funny ideas about beer. They think beer improves with age, like wine. We'll find a brewmaster, though. You'll find a beer drinker who knows better. The Budweiser brewmaster says it all depends on how beer is aged. Just letting beer sit in lagering tanks makes it older, not necessarily better. That even goes for keeping a case around the house for a couple of months. But there is one kind of aging that's good for beer, the Budweiser kind, beechwood aging. In this kind of aging, something happens. It lets all the flavor of the choicest hops and best barley malt that go into Budweiser get through to you. Sure, it takes more time and trouble to brew Budweiser that way, but brewing beer right does make a difference. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
I've found the work to be really challenging, and I enjoy it a lot.
If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be in it.
People.
My orientation all my life has been, to help.
I wouldn't have been in Red Cross if I didn't care, about people.
People who care about other people. It's an opportunity for me to help other people and to see my efforts and my skill pay off.
It's just a very rewarding feeling to think that some little thing you've done is going to help somebody else.
It's the joy you feel when you help someone.
People who help other people. It's like anybody involved with Red Cross programs. They want to volunteer and they want to help.
They are just that type of person who will go out of their way to do anything
for anybody at any time, and it carries over to the work they do for the Red Cross.
You know, it's like they're there when you need them. The people who are the good neighbor. The American Red Cross.
I think that anything you know in this world, if you don't use it when it's needed, what good is it?
At the age of 30, Otis Manley Carter was hailed as the world's foremost living artist. He towered above his contemporaries. To describe his work, one had to compare it with the great masters of the past. No one, but no one, painting today could breathe life into a portrait to match Otis Manley Carter. And yet, just 1 week before his 31st birthday, Otis made the announcement that would stun the civilized world. He was finished with art. Never again would his brush touch paint to canvas. He would neither amplify his statement nor answer questions. He simply disappeared, and only 2 people in all the world knew the reason why. One, of course, was Otis himself. The other was a detective on the New York City police force, Sergeant Bert Dennison.
Bert! Bert, what are you doing?
Just having a cup of coffee.
We'll be late.
Late? All I got to do is put on my jacket, and that takes all of 15 seconds.
I'm just so nervous.
Why?
Why? Do you know who's going to be there tonight?
Well, sure.
The governor, the mayor, celebrities, the news media, the critics.
Lucy, I'm impressed.
After all, the showing of a new portrait by Otis Manley Carter has the same impact as the World Series or a Super Bowl or a heavyweight champion fight.
If you put brown sugar in coffee, do you save calories?
Do you realize, Bert, that you and I are going to be sharing the spotlight with Otis?
Well, you will, that's for sure.
Oh, Bert, what does he see in me?
Oh, come on, honey.
No, I mean it.
Well, let's see. You're pretty.
Well, I'm not beautiful.
And you're smart.
But I'm not brilliant.
What can I tell you? He's an artist. All artists are crazy.
But the most fascinating women in the world are ready to throw themselves at his feet.
Sis, you're pretty fascinating yourself.
Thanks to you, Bert.
Thanks to me?
You sent me through college, and there were the trips to Europe.
Well, I had to shape you up before I could marry you off. And it looks like you got yourself the grand prize, the great Otis Manley Carter.
Oh, Bert, I want you to like him.
Oh, I like him.
He's so sweet, so kind.
Except?
What do you mean, except?
Well, except every time he paints somebody's picture, it seems to me that person dies.
What are you talking about?
Now, tonight's portrait, that actress, Lila Beaumont, she just died suddenly, didn't she?
But what does that have to do
with... And in the last 5 years, he painted 4 other women. Not one of those women is alive today. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. May I ask you how you knew that?
I checked Mr. Otis Carter out. World-famous artist or not, I ran him through the ringer.
Do you mean you actually investigated
Do you
Otis?
think I'd let you marry him if I didn't?
Oh, honestly, I don't know anyone who lives his job 24 hours a day. You never forget you're a policeman.
I'm supposed to be on duty 24 hours a day. Otherwise, I'm cheating the taxpayers.
Well, what are you trying to imply about Otis?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Just an observation. Idle observation.
Oh, Otis, darling. You're having a triumph. It's a fantastic success.
Well, what did you think of the painting, Bert?
It's a good picture.
Oh, listen to him, a good picture. Is that all you can say?
Well, it's certainly lifelike, I'll say that.
Well, thank you, Bert.
Good evening, Otis.
Professor DeMarco.
May I offer my congratulations?
I'm honored, Professor, honored. May I present my fiancée and my prospective brother-in-law, Miss Lucy Dennison, Detective Sergeant Dennison, Professor DeMarco of the Fine Arts Institute.
How do you do?
Glad to meet you.
Otis, once again, you forced me to eat crow.
Oh, come on, Professor, please.
No, I was wrong about you, Otis. Wrong. And I don't care who knows it.
Yeah, but the truth is, Professor DeMarco, you taught me everything I know.
The truth is, you didn't start to paint until after you left me. Congratulations, Otis, on a double triumph this evening. Your painting and your fiancée. Each is a magnificent work of art.
Thank you, sir.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Sergeant Dennison, Lucy.
Yes, sir.
Well, he never got over it. And I don't think he ever will. He said I'd never amount to anything.
Oh, but you're not serious, darling. How could anyone who knows anything about art?
Oh, there's Eric von Heiden.
The one who's doing the new book about him?
Come on, darling. I'll introduce you.
Give me a rain check. I feel the need for a little refreshment.
Excuse me, sir. I hope I didn't spill that on... Oh, it's Sergeant...
Dennison, sir.
Of course.
You know, Professor DeMarco, I've been watching you.
What? That sounds ominous. Why would a police detective be watching me?
Because I'm curious.
About what?
About the look on your face.
What about the look on my face?
It's the only look of its kind in the house.
How do you mean that?
Well, analyze all the faces around you. What do you see? Excitement, boredom, happiness, anxiety?
And what's my look?
I would say puzzlement. Actually, you look completely confused.
I suppose I am. I still can't understand what happened. Otis was my student at the Institute.
And you said he'd never amount to anything.
I did. And you can see how it's come back to haunt me. Believe me, he had absolutely no concept whatever of the elementary principles of art. He had no feeling for line, for color, for form. I recommended he be dropped from the school.
You not only go out on a limb, you bring your own saw.
Well, 6 months later, he astounded the entire world with his portrait of that alderman's wife. The first of the Otis Manley Carter famous portraits.
How do you account for that?
Well, at first, I refused to believe he could paint like that.
And maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's all done with mirrors.
No. There are no mirrors, no tricks. I went up to his studio. He paints. But where did he learn? How did he learn? From whom?
There must be an answer.
Naturally.
But can you even speculate?
He probably sold his soul to the devil.
You realize that isn't an answer?
Of course. But it's the only one I can think of at the moment.
Come in.
Hello there, Otis. Hope I'm not disturbing you.
No, I was about to take a break. Coffee?
Oh, sure. That was quite a bash last night, huh?
Necessary evil.
You seem to enjoy it.
But that's why it's an evil. It turns your head and wastes your time and keeps you from doing your job. Which, for me, is to paint.
Where did you learn to paint, Otis?
At the Fine Arts Institute. Do you take sugar?
Yeah, 1 lump, thanks.
Okay.
I don't think you learned how to paint at the Institute, Otis.
Milk?
Yeah, sure.
All righty.
Professor DeMarco and I had a long talk about you last night. He thought you were a lost cause.
Well, he did. And I suppose I was for a while.
So, how did the ugly duckling turn into a swan?
Well, some people are slow learners.
DeMarco claims you just didn't have it.
No, he was wrong. I always had it, but it was only in my mind. I was showing him nothing but meaningless blobs and dabs. They had to drop me from the school.
And where did you study after that?
Oh, nowhere. I just went to the museum every day.
That's all?
That's all. And then, one morning I was looking at some of the old masters, just worshipping at the shrine, as it were, and wishing and hoping and praying that one day I, too, could... Well, the most remarkable thing happened.
Yes?
Well, suddenly everything that Professor DeMarco had ever tried to teach me just began to make sense. No, it it was more than that. It all became a part of the way I feel and the way I think and the way I see. I was trembling all over.
What did you do?
I went home, picked up my brushes, and from that day on, I was a painter.
Just like that?
Well, in psychology, there is such a thing as the delayed reaction.
Yeah, I know.
Bert, Lucy and I want you to join us for dinner tonight, hmm?
I never refuse an invitation to dinner. Otis, your latest portrait of Lila Beaumont.
Poor Lila. She never really saw it. She died the day it was finished.
What did she die of?
I don't know, Bert. I don't think anybody does.
Sergeant, I wasn't a regular physician.
Who was, Doctor?
I don't think she had one. She seemed to be one of those fortunate, healthy people who never needed medicine.
Mm-hmm. Where did she die, Dr. Caswell?
In Mr. Carter's studio. And since my office is just next door...
Was she alive when you got there?
Just barely. She seemed to show all the signs of utter exhaustion. So that's what I wrote on the death certificate. Afterward, I thought about it, and I asked for an autopsy.
Why?
I simply couldn't believe it.
What did the autopsy reveal?
Nothing. I was right in the first place. But I still don't believe it.
Again, why?
Well, how could she change so radically in such a short time?
What do you mean by change?
Have you seen the portrait Carter painted of her?
Yes,
It's just brimming with robust good health. It's exactly how she looked. Just about 2 months before she died, I saw her get out of the cab that first time she came to Carter's studio.
And?
2 months later, I was shocked.
Why?
As I said, I'd never witnessed such a rapid decline. She was losing a lot of weight. Her color was gone. She looked so tired.
What did you think was happening?
I didn't know what to think. I decided to speak to Otis. After all, I knew him when he was just a starving young artist. One morning, I walked up to his studio.
Well, what can I do for you, Doctor?
Busy, Otis?
Oh, Lila Beaumont will be here any minute.
Well, that's what I want to talk to you about. Is she under medical care?
Well, why? Well, why should she be?
Can't you see why?
What are you talking about?
Otis, she looks terrible.
Oh, she looks great.
She's becoming dangerously thin. She has no color.
Doctor, are you serious?
Are you serious, Otis?
Well, I don't understand what you're trying to say.
You mean you can't see anything wrong with Lila Beaumont?
She looks better than ever. Good morning, Lila.
Hello, Otis.
Well, you're looking just sensational, as usual. Lila, I'd like you to meet Dr. Caswell.
How do you do?
Oh, Otis, I'm so tired this morning. Could I have a cup of coffee?
Well, coming up. I just have to heat it.
Miss Beaumont, I hope you're seeing a doctor.
Oh, why?
Look in the mirror.
You're very perceptive, Dr. Caswell.
Perceptive? It's obvious. For one thing, you're losing your looks.
Oh, yes.
Your looks are your livelihood. Shouldn't you want to do something about it?
What can I do? There's a man, and he no longer loves me.
But a doctor could prevent this ravaging.
There's no way a doctor can help me.
But you need special treatment. I would say, Miss Beaumont, that right now you should be in a hospital.
Oh, you may be right, Doctor. I don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore.
Is that the reason she died, Dr. Caswell? Because some guy gave her the gate?
They say you can die of a broken heart.
What do you say?
Well, I just can't see a vital and perfectly healthy woman like Lila Beaumont simply withering away in so short a time.
But if her appearance had changed so drastically, how come Otis didn't see it?
You'll have to ask Otis.
You still haven't told me, Dr. Caswell. What did she die of?
But I did tell you. I don't know. Nobody knows.
Well, what did she die of? And what, if anything, can it have to do with Otis Manley Carter? Detective Sergeant Dennison has a nagging, indefinable feeling. That's just the trouble. In most of the murder cases Bert has solved, the solution always began with a nagging, indefinable feeling. We'll see where this feeling leads when I return shortly with Act 2.
And now another story of the ball and chain as Kellogg's Special K presents Veronica and Jack.
Oh, Jeffrey, isn't this romantic? Out in a quiet lake at night with you rowing the boat.
Yes, Veronica, it's really neat.
Jeffrey, what was that?
Frogs.
Frogs that go bonk?
They're pretty weird frogs.
Oh, Jeffrey, you're such a card. You have a ball and chain, like the ones they use in those Special K commercials.
Yes, Veronica, it symbolizes my few pounds of extra weight. But I'm going to get rid of it.
How?
By exercising. You know, like rowing this boat and eating smart at every meal, starting with a Special K breakfast.
You mean a 1-ounce bowl of high-protein Special K, 4 ounces of skim milk, orange juice, and coffee?
Precisely. It's less than 240 calories, and it tastes delicious. It'll help me get rid of this ball and chain.
I'll help too, Jeff. After all, we're all in the same boat.
You have a ball and chain, too.
Your happy ending could begin with the Special K breakfast from Kellogg's. The Veterans Administration helps people in little ways.
A veteran, let's say, is trying to get an appointment. He is filed to go to school under the GI Bill. He's not getting any money, but he's entitled. Well, what's wrong with writing a letter saying that under the law, this man is entitled to receive $220 a month for attending school on a full-time basis? Believe it or not, he can take that letter with the little job, take it to the real estate people, and because he has an additional income of $220, although he isn't receiving it, it makes his chances of getting that apartment much better. And this is what I mean about the little things. Going beyond the duty every once in a while. Just go a little bit out of your way to help someone. That's my philosophy. To me, these are little things, but big things to that person. A big thing to that person.
At VA, we try a little harder to help.
Sergeant Bert Dennison has always been an intuitive detective. He trusted his instincts. He played his hunches. He followed his theories wherever they led him, usually to the right answer. But this time, he has absolutely no idea of how to arrive at the answer. As a matter of fact, at this point, he can't even formulate the question.
You really should skip dessert, Bert.
I'll only have one helping.
Well, do you want to tell him, Lucy?
No, darling, I think you should be the one.
Somebody's supposed to tell me something? I hope the wedding hasn't been canceled.
Oh, no, Bert. Sunday, right on schedule.
Otis has something to say to you, Bert.
We have a wedding gift for you, Bert.
Me? Why? I'm not getting married.
Well, that's why you need a gift. Now, on Sunday, Lucy is leaving your house forever. That sounds kind of stuffy, doesn't it?
Keep going, darling. You're doing fine.
And so, therefore, to make sure you never forget what she looks like...
How can I forget what she looks
Please,
like?
Bert, don't interrupt.
We decided that I would paint a portrait of Lucy and present it to you.
Isn't that wonderful? Can you imagine that you're going to own an original Otis Manley Carter?
Yeah, but,
Well, what is it?
well, these things are valuable. You just can't afford
$1 million couldn't buy all the wonderful things you did for your sister, and I'm grateful.
Bert, what's on your mind?
Well, isn't it bad luck for an artist to paint a picture of his own wife?
Oh, now, where did you ever hear that? They all did it.
Bert, something is bothering you.
Yeah, well, I might as well say it. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I couldn't accept the gift.
Bert!
Why?
I just can't explain it. Otis, you want to give me a gift I'd really like?
Of course.
Well, just promise me you'll never paint a picture of Lucy. Never.
Now, what kind of
I'm
nonsense...
asking him, Lucy. What about it, Otis?
Well, one of the reasons I'm marrying her is so that I can always have her near me, so that I can always capture those fantastic expressions and moods.
Oh, really? I thought you fell in love with my mind.
Yeah, I did. I did. It's your mind that gives animation and meaning.
What about it, Otis?
I wish you'd tell me why.
I wish I could. But I don't think I can. How about it, Otis? Will you promise?
All right, Bert. I promise.
Homicide, Lieutenant Callahan. Oh, nothing, dear. Just sitting around. Nobody, just Bert Dennison. Oh, no. He used to be a million laughs. He isn't anymore. Just stares into space all day. That's all. All right, I'll tell him. You ought to get married, Bert. Puts a little zing in your life. And now that your sister's gone, you've got no excuse.
Why don't you get off my back?
Jenny was downtown this morning. She told me she ran into your sister.
I'll even buy your... What did you say?
Jenny saw your sister Lucy in one of the stores.
She couldn't have seen my sister. Lucy and Otis are on a trip to Mexico.
See? You don't know everything. Maybe they came back. As a matter of fact, maybe that's why they came back.
What are you talking about?
Jenny said Lucy didn't look too good.
She what?
Hey, Bert, where you going?
Bert!
Yes, it's Bert. You never told me you were back.
Oh, we meant to. We just got in this morning and we haven't even unpacked.
Of course not. How could you unpack when you never packed in the first place? All your clothes are in the closet. Bags are up on the shelf. You didn't go anywhere, did you?
Oh,
I want you to call a doctor. There's Dr. Caswell. He's just next door.
Well, why do I need a doctor?
You look terrible.
Oh, well,
You lost about 5 pounds. There's no color in your face.
Oh, it's absolutely true. I lost 5 pounds because I'm on a diet. And if there's no color in my face, it's because I don't have my makeup on.
You sound tired.
Well, we were up late last night.
Why did you want me to think you were in Mexico?
Bert, you and I, we've been very close. We've shared a home. You've practically raised me.
Never mind all that. What are you leading up to?
Well, we'd see each other every day and talk to each other and actually have no lives away from each other.
I wasn't aware of that.
So, I thought that since I'm a married woman, now we just have to get used to a different kind of relationship.
Uh-huh. You can tell when I'm lying. I can tell when you're lying. Otis broke his promise, didn't he?
What promise?
His promise never to paint your picture.
Well, how can you say that?
Why don't I ask him?
You can't ask him. He isn't home.
All right, I'll wait.
But he may be gone all day.
Who rang the bell just before? Oh. Hi, Bert. How are you?
Just fine. Just fine. You've been painting, I see. Anyone I know?
Well, I haven't been painting exactly. I've been cleaning brushes, things like that. You know, chores.
Why don't we go inside and see?
Bert, if you walk into that studio, I'll never talk to you again as long as I live.
If I don't walk into that studio, you'll be dead in a month.
Bert! Oh, Bert, we wanted so much for you to have a portrait of me.
Yeah, so I see.
No, not yet. You don't see. It's nowhere near finished, but you can just sense what it's going to be like.
Bert, it's going to be my finest work because it's for you.
Oh, darling, don't be unreasonable.
Can't finish that painting, Otis.
Tell me why. Why?
Otis. For some reason, you kill the people you paint.
What?
Don't interrupt me. It's not easy to say this. And I can imagine what it must sound like, but... Otis, you've painted the portraits of 5 women. Every one of them is dead.
But that has nothing to do with
Each one died on the day you finished the portrait.
Bert, have you any idea what you're saying?
I know what I'm saying. And it gets worse. but it's true.
What's true?
Otis, the truth is you're not a painter.
How can you
Please,
say such
this isn't easy, sis. Just thank God that we're three people who love each other and can solve our problem together.
Bert, how can you say I'm not an artist?
DeMarco said you had absolutely no talent.
DeMarco? He's a jealous old fraud.
But he's right. When you came to him, you had absolutely no ability, no talent.
How do you account for the fact that I create so many...
paint, Otis.
Bert.
Hear me out, please. Somehow, and I don't even think you're aware of it, you have the ability to drain the life out of your subject and project it onto the canvas. Well?
I just don't understand what you're saying.
You're not aware of it. You didn't notice that Lila Beaumont was actually dying before your eyes, just as the others did before her.
Bert, tell me this is a joke.
No, it isn't a joke. Look at Lucy, Otis. She doesn't look ill.
I honestly can't see anything wrong.
Lucy, look in the mirror. Look. And then tell me there's nothing wrong with you.
I don't have to look. I know.
Then what I have been saying...
It's just that... well, I've been worried.
About what?
About Otis.
Darling, why?
Oh, I'm afraid one day you'll get tired of me.
Lucy.
There's so many women who are after you.
But you're the only woman I want. You know that.
Yes, I know. But sometimes I can't sleep at night, and that's the reason that I'm not looking my best.
No. The painting's the reason. And, Otis, you must promise to destroy that painting.
I can't do that.
Then I will.
Bert, put down that knife.
Take your hand off me, Otis.
Bert, don't hit him.
I won't let you destroy my painting.
And I won't let you kill my sister.
Otis! Oh. Bert! Don't do that!
Lucy, stop him!
That takes care of that.
Bert, you're crazy.
Get up, Otis. I didn't hit you that hard.
Look at what you did to my painting. Do you know what you've done?
Yes, I destroyed the canvas. And look at your wife. Look at yourself, Lucy. Your color is back.
Bert, you're a fool. If my color is back, it's because I'm furious.
No, you've got your old vitality and strength. You'll be all right now, Lucy.
Bert!
There's really nothing we can talk about. I did what I had to do. And now let's forget it. Except for one thing, Otis. Promise me your word of honor that you'll never try to paint Lucy's portrait again.
But I can't
I'll put it this way, Otis. If you ever try to paint her portrait, I'll kill you.
Hi, Bert.
Callahan?
Thought I'd find you down here in the range. Good cluster, except for that one shot off to the left.
Probably a faulty cartridge.
Sure, it's never the shooter, it's always the shell. What is it you're getting out of your system tonight?
Nothing at all.
Want to sit down and talk for a minute?
About what?
About you and me.
All right. What is there to say?
We have to decide what I'm going to do about you.
Why?
Because Otis and Lucy were in my office this afternoon. They're two very scared kids.
They've got nothing to be scared of.
Not for themselves. For you.
Why?
Oh, come on, Bert. You know why. They told me everything.
Oh, that's nice. My own sister.
She only did it because she loves you.
Yeah. She told you how all of them die when he paints their portraits?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
Here's what I think. I just put in this application.
Application?
For your leave of absence.
But I'm not...
Yes, you are. It'll all be done quietly, and when you're better, you can come back to duty as if nothing happened.
Where am I supposed to go?
There's a private sanitarium. Absolutely the top doctor.
Callahan, I'm not crazy.
Of course not. You just got this temporary little quirk.
What?
And it can be ironed out easily. Subconsciously, I guess you just miss not having Lucy around the house.
Well, thanks for everything, but I'm not going.
In In light of what happened in the studio this morning, I'm afraid your choices are limited.
Callahan!
Is it the quiet, private sanitarium, or do we have to put you into the city hospital for observation?
Callahan, what are you telling me?
I'm telling you to hand over your revolver.
Who was it who wrote, "Heaven keep me safe from my well-meaning friends"? It's certainly a sentiment that's shared right now by Detective Sergeant Bert Dennison. All he wants to do is prevent a terrible tragedy. And who's trying to stop him? Those people who truly love him. We're going to meet more well-meaning people when I return shortly with Act 3.
Oh, sure. You can talk about good-tasting diet drinks, but I know. I'm Goldilocks, and here at my taste-testing laboratory, I taste-test them all. And nobody's been drinking my diet drinks until I tested sugar-free Diet 7-Up. And then, kabloomy! Every bear wanted some. Diet 7-Up is fresh, natural, delicious. Sugar-free Diet 7-Up. This one's just right.
By the year 2000, our country will be guided by today's youth. Learning how our legal process works should start now through involvement, like working to register voters, helping to elect candidates, campaigning, and voting. Law Day, May 1st, urges young America to lead the way. Help preserve good laws. Help change bad laws. Help make better laws. A public service announcement of the American Bar Association and your state and local bar associations.
Young I may be, but still I'm a man. Just turned 18 and I'll do what I can. Find me a place where I can be me. Get ready for life, be free and the sea. Oh, where do I go from here? Oh, where do I go from here? I'm finished with school, but what lies ahead? Don't wanna get trapped, wanna feel free instead. All over the world, there's so much to do. The call of the sea, don't you hear it too? Oh, where do I go from here? Oh, where do I go from here?
What about the new Navy? You'll get your chance at success, learn an exciting job, and see the world. Call toll-free 800-841-8000 or see your Navy recruiter. Be someone special in the new Navy.
I know where I'm going from here.
The best mirror is the face of an old friend. Sergeant Dennison stares at Lieutenant Callahan. Stares at the look on Callahan's face. It's a strange look. A look that's a mixture of pity, concern, and fear. And suddenly Dennison realizes that this must be the same look that showed so often when he knew he had to arrest a suspect who might turn out to be criminally insane.
I have to have your service revolver, Bert.
You want to put the cuffs on me too, Callahan?
Cut it out.
Why not? It's a pinch, isn't it?
It's nothing of the sort, and you know it. Now, look. Let's go to your apartment, pick up some stuff, and I'll drive you to this place myself.
Tell me something, Callahan. Don't you want to hear my side of it?
Bert, you slugged your brother-in-law, you slashed the painting.
So?
That's violence.
You and me, we never used violence in the line of duty?
Justified force.
Slice it any way. Why am I wrong this time?
Because what you say is crazy.
Callahan, you and me, we're not the new breed of college cops who know everything, but still we're very careful about that word crazy.
You mean you really believe Otis kills people by painting their portraits?
Yeah. Quit fighting me. Work with me.
How?
Let's go out and get some expert testimony.
What's here?
This is the doctor who attended Lila Beaumont just before she died. And he's completely stumped by the whole thing.
Yes,
Yes, I was dissatisfied with the cause of death.
Dr. Caswell, you said you didn't believe she could change so radically in so short a time.
I did say that.
You also said you couldn't see how a splendid physical specimen like Lila Beaumont could just wither away.
Yes, I remember I did say that, too.
And even though you signed a death certificate which listed exhaustion as the cause of death, nobody really knew what she did die of.
Well, I've since come to believe that she really could have died of exhaustion.
But you said...
Exhaustion, plus loss of the will to live.
But you were convinced there was a mysterious cause.
I didn't use that word.
But, Doctor, you led me to believe...
I was merely ventilating some doubts, some misgivings.
But the other women who died...
I wasn't there. I don't know.
You told me, Professor DeMarco, that Otis had no concept of the basic principles of art.
I did.
No feeling for line, form, color.
I think I said something like that.
And since those things can't be learned, there was no way he could become a painter.
Oh, it's a relative thing.
Well, you even went so far as to say the only way he could have learned them was if he'd sold his soul to the devil.
That was a figure of speech.
He never did learn to be a painter. Something happened. He found a way, or was given a way, who knows, to draw the vital essence from a living thing and put it on canvas.
I don't think I could agree with...
I can prove it. Look at everything he's done. He's never painted an inanimate object. Just the face, the body, but no clothes, no furniture, no jewels, no decorations.
I'm sorry if I gave you the wrong impression. Maybe I was jealous.
Jealous of what? You said he had no talent.
Maybe that was a lie I told myself. Maybe I resented his youth, his promise. After all, I never fulfilled mine.
Yeah, sure. And besides, you really don't want to be remembered as the art teacher who flunked Otis Manley Carter. I guess that's the simple answer.
I wish there were such a thing as a simple answer.
Well, Bert, you've got to admit it's really a comfortable room with a great view of the ocean. And you've even got a refrigerator.
Yeah. What happens now, Callahan?
Well, starting tomorrow, the doctors will begin working with you. You'll be straightened out in no time.
I see. I'm the one who has to be straightened out.
That's how it is.
Even if I happen to be right.
Those are the rules of the game, Bert.
But I'm not crazy, Callahan.
You and I know what crazy is. Crazy is when most people don't agree with you.
You're a big help.
I'll come up and see you this weekend.
I can hardly wait.
I better ring for the guy to come let me out.
What do you mean you got a ring?
Well, door's locked from the outside.
Huh?
It doesn't mean anything, Bert. It's just routine. I mean...
Yeah, I know what you mean. I might as well be in jail.
You wanted something, Sergeant?
Yeah, Jerry. How can I make a phone call?
You can't.
What do you mean I can't?
Well, the first couple of weeks you can't. It's like you got to get your interviews and orientation.
But I have to make a phone call.
The doctor says...
Forget what the doctor says.
Look, part of the treatment is to isolate you completely from your former environment.
But I have to know if my sister is okay.
She's okay.
How do you know?
Because if she wasn't, you'd be told about it.
Yeah. Listen, I know I can't make a phone call. But if I could, where would I make it from?
Well, there's a phone outside, at the end of the hall.
There is, huh? Jerry, I want to show you something.
What?
Come on, Lucy. Answer it.
Hello?
Lucy.
What?
Lucy.
Yes, I'm Lucy. Who's this?
It's me, Bert.
Who?
Bert.
No, Bert isn't here. Could you call back later?
Lucy! Oh, my my good Lord. Lucy!
What? Who?
He's painting your picture again. I've got to destroy that canvas.
Don't move, Bert.
Otis!
Don't make me shoot, Bert.
Now listen, Otis. You don't want to kill me.
No. I'd only want to hit you in the foot, but I'm a bad shot. Now, please, Bert, just stand still.
What are you doing with a gun, Otis? That's not your style.
Callahan called us. He said you'd broken out of the sanitarium. He wants me to phone him if you show up here.
You're killing Lucy. Look at her.
Bert, I don't know what's gotten into you.
Is the painting almost finished?
What business is that of yours?
What more has to be done on the painting?
I just have to finish her mouth.
And when you do, she's going to die.
How can you believe...
Do you love her, Otis?
You know I love her.
Destroy the painting.
I can't.
I can.
I'm warning you, Bert.
I'm going to walk into your studio, and I'm going to destroy that painting.
You take one step and I'll shoot you.
I'll just have to take the chance.
I've still got 5 bullets in the gun. All of them can't miss.
Otis, look at Lucy. Look at her. She's dying.
That isn't true.
You don't want to see it. If I could prove you're killing her, would you destroy the painting?
How could you prove such
Would you destroy the painting?
Yes.
Let's go back into the studio, Otis.
Oh, no, it's a trick.
You've got the gun, Otis. What are you afraid of? Come on.
All right, you just stand near the wall. You keep far away from my painting.
It's beautiful.
Then why do you want me to destroy it?
Because it is Lucy.
What did you bring me in here to prove?
That you kill a living thing when you paint it. On the windowsill, Otis, that flower, that geranium, paint it.
Sure. I'll put the gun down and pick up the brush and you'll jump.
You're afraid. You're scared.
You're crazy. What you're saying is crazy.
Here's your chance to prove it, Otis. Paint that flower. And if nothing happens to it, I promise, I'll go away quietly. Well?
I will. Now there. It's a quick sketch. How do you like it?
It's beautiful.
All right, now look at the windowsill. Look at the geranium. Go on, look at the Oh, no, Bert, what happened to it?
You can see what happened.
I can't believe it.
But it's true. The color is gone. It's wilted, withered. It's dead.
No.
They're all dead. Lila Beaumont, those other women. And Lucy is dying. Before it's too late, Otis, you know what you have to do.
No.
Otis!
You do it for me.
No. You have to destroy that canvas yourself.
Why?
Because I can't keep watching you guarding my sister forever. You have to put an end to it yourself.
I promise I won't paint Lucy.
You must never paint anybody.
I don't know if I can give it up.
But you're not really a painter, Otis. Somehow you stumbled into some sort of mysterious power. And now you've got to give it up. Destroy the painting. I'll go back to Lucy.
How do you know I just won't finish it? How can you trust me?
I trust you. I trust you because you love Lucy. Lucy? Lucy.
Hmm? Who is
Lucy.
it? Oh, Bert. Oh, I must have been napping. Oh, I feel so refreshed.
Yes, you're looking better.
Bert, what are you doing here? You're supposed to
I know. I'm supposed to be crazy. Don't worry about it.
Otis, Bert's here. Shouldn't we...
No. Everything's all right.
I better go straighten everybody out. Especially Callahan.
The painting? Is it my imagination or... What happened to the painting?
I, decided to give it up.
Otis, how could you?
Will you love me even if I'm not a famous painter?
But, darling...
Sure she'll love you, Otis. She'll love you even more.
She'll love you even more. There's a lot of truth to that, Otis. A woman in love with a famous man has a problem. She wants him all to herself, but she is forced to share him with the entire world. And you ladies in our audience might think about it, too. If you're married to a man who doesn't seem to be going anywhere special, look on the brighter side. Just think. You can have him all to yourself. I'll be back shortly.
Hi, Ms. Goldilocks here. Professionally taste-testing diet drinks can be very difficult, but I've just had to bear with it. Then I found sugar-free Diet 7-Up. It doesn't taste like other diet drinks. It's fresh, light, natural, delicious. Sugar-free Diet 7-Up tastes so good that I've taste-tested it hundreds of times, and each time I've given it my seal of approval. Yes, this one's just right.
A March of Dimes message from a basketball great.
Hi, I'm Bill Bradley. There are many things that go into making a professional athlete, but let's start at the beginning. Being fortunate enough to have been born healthy. 250,000 children are born each year with birth defects. The March of Dimes is a team of professional scientists, doctors, educators, working to prevent birth defects. Please help give tomorrow's children a good start. Give to the March of Dimes.
What killed those women? A coincidence of real and fancied illness? Or can an artist really drain the life from a living creature and transform it to canvas? Certain primitive tribes agree. It's taboo to create a likeness. Maybe they know what they're talking about. Our cast included Nat Polan, Marion Seldes, Jack Grimes, Jackson Beck, and Roger DeKoven. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
I told you I burned it.
And you know that's a fairy tale that no one will believe.
I don't care whether you believe it or not. Now, are you coming with me?
Where?
To talk to your Colonel Blake.
He won't see you.
Oh, I think he will. Goodbye, Carol. It was nice knowing you. I think.
You will kindly step back into your room, Monsieur Feeling.
Now, wait a minute.
Move. I am Major Simonovich.
Oh, of the Gay Payou or the NKVD?
It does not really matter. What matters is that you and I have something to discuss.
I warned you.
Yeah, sure you did.
I do so dislike dealing with amateurs. This is strictly a business.
You mean you want to make a deal with me?
Correction. I mean you would find it wise if you wanted to make a deal with us.
For the paper?
Exactly. Where is it?
No, not so fast. Not so fast. You spoke about a deal?
You give us the paper, we give you your life.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
WDAF, Kansas City.